Ready in comms. Well, welcome back everybody to Clay Pigeon Raceway, just between Dorchester and Yeovil. Apologies for the technical issues that we've had this morning. I think there was some outside interference, but I think the issues have been resolved now. A little update on what you've missed if you're just joining us. We've had 2 races so far for round 7 of the British Universities Karting Championship for 2018. And they've been 2 good ones as well. 2 really good races to kick off proceedings this morning. Race 1 went to Warwick A, Sam Cobb, with a fantastic drive to take 60 points for round 7, or within round 7 for his Warwick A team. Liverpool A was second, Newcastle A were third. That's 2 of your contenders in the intermediate class. Oxford Brookes A were the first team to take a strike in the battle for the Premier class. Matthew Lewis guiding them to 4th place, and then it was Sheffield A and Birmingham A 5th and 6th, Huddersfield B 7th, Oxford Brookes C 8th, Imperial A 9th, and Warwick B in 10th. We've just had race 2. I don't think we've had an official result through for race 2 yet, but it was Neil Vincent who provisionally took the race win on the road. We saw Sam Massey and Cambridge A take 2nd place, but we already know that they're going to get deducted a lap for an overtake under yellow on the last lap of the race. So unfortunately for them, that's going to drop them down a few positions. Crucially though, it will promote Alex Gunn and Huddersfield A up to 2nd place in race 2. So that's a good start for Huddersfield. They've got an outside chance of winning the title, and as I say, that is a good start for the team from Yorkshire. That's about as much as I've got on race 2 at the moment. As I say, we're still waiting for that official result to come through. If you're not up to speed yet on the championship permutations, we've got 5 teams going for the overall championship here today. Oxford Brookes B currently leading the championship by 9 points, followed by Oxford Brookes A. Loughborough A are in there, but they've had a bad start to the morning. They finished a long way down the field in the first race of the morning. Nottingham A, similar story. They got a black flag on lap 1 in race 2, so they didn't get any decent points out of race 2. So they're on the back foot. And Huddersfield, as I've mentioned already, they got 2nd place in their first race of the day, and they start, I think, from P3 in the next one, and they've got Joseph Jacks going for them, one of their very quick drivers. So it's going to be one of those 5. Interestingly though, with the Oxford Brookes B, they didn't have a good first race either. They were, I think they had a spin on lap 1, which meant they're a little bit under pressure now. The simplicities of it, of the 2 rounds that we have here today, the sprint round, which is round 7 in the morning, and the endurance round, which is round 8 later this afternoon. Oxford Brookes B just need to win one of those rounds to get enough points to win the title. Doesn't matter what anybody else does, they would be champions. So even if they had a round win in one of the rounds and then finished stone dead last in the other round, they'd still win the championship due to the way the drop scores are working. Really, the team that could overhaul them, with Oxford Brookes B still getting good results, is their own teammates in the A team. But we're talking...
If ever you want bragging rights at the pubs, Mixler listeners, you heard race 2 live. But no, fantastic to have everybody back with us for, hopefully now, uninterrupted coverage of rounds 7 and 8 of the Mains Championship here at Clay Pigeon in Dorset. Just in Dorset, you literally pass the sign and you're there. 3 days of action, of course, we have for you, because it is the big finals weekend of the British Universities Karting Championship for 2018. It goes quickly, folks. Andrew and I were sat down yesterday going, blimey, it's the end of the season already. It really does.
Where's it gone?
Go quick. It does go so quickly relative to other series, but such is the way of the BUKC, as the drivers are beginning to get underway.
Give us a grid.
Give us a grid. I shall indeed. So, importantly here, on pole is Gareth Haynes in the number 2 for Oxford Brookes A. He'll be looking for good races. Who's that? Is that Stephen Letts?
It's Joseph Jacks.
Joseph Jacks, sorry, yes.
Joseph
Joseph Jacks
That's not the first
is
time he's
already
done that
around,
this season.
having immediately got going in a Huddersfield A kart. It's all right. He's got it out the way on rolling up so that he doesn't have to do it in the race. So anyway, they'll have some practice laps. So Gareth Haynes out for Oxford Brookes A on pole. Coventry B alongside with Maciej Sakowicz for them. Swansea B with Jasper Chamberlain at the wheel, and Huddersfield A with Joseph Jacks at the wheel will make up row 2. Then it'll be Rihanna Percox for Birmingham A and Toti Miso for Leeds Beckett A. We sometimes talk about some of these teams being disruptors. That's quite a disruptive potential third row. We'll talk about them as the race goes on, I'm sure. Sean Gee starts 7th for Exeter B, and sister team Exeter A start 8th with Ryan Luscombe at the wheel. So an all Exeter 4th row. Aidan Charity starts 9th for Sheffield A. Jack Lund takes the Liverpool A kart from 10th. Then it will be Lewis Longelon for Northumbria B from 11th, and then 12th will be Ben Street for Warwick A. Bath A have Matt Elmore going for them from 13th, and then 14th on the grid is the number 4 Nottingham A kart with Joshua Watts at the wheel. Stuart Mitchell takes Nottingham C's kart from 15th with John Pring alongside on the 8th row for Imperial A. Then it's Tudor Petrescu for Bristol A starting 17th, and James Mannion starting 18th for Kingston A. In 19th place we find Kevin Ewing in the Cranfield A kart, and then rounding out the top 20 is Nottingham B with Josh Stanton at the wheel. Rhys Roberts takes the UWTSD Swansea kart from 21st, and then Tom Dent in Leeds C's effort starts 22nd. 23rd will be Alex Tucker for Oxford A, and then it's Freddie Fincham in the number 49 Loughborough B kart starting 24th. 25th will be Samuel Earnshaw for Aston B, and he has George Story alongside for Northumbria A. Row 14 has Piers Pryor returning for the Loughborough squad, having sat out of Hooton Park. One of their quickest drivers is Piers, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes from 27th. Nottingham Trent A have Henry Jackson, who's not too shabby on the pace either, starting 28th. James Ryan takes the Brunel A kart from 29th, and then rounding up the top 30 is Newcastle A and Nathan Phillips. 31st on the grid is Adrian Porter in the Leeds B kart. Then it's Daniel Burgess starting 32nd for Oxford Brookes B. Loughborough C start 33rd with Rafe Trundle at the wheel. Manchester Metropolitan A have Harry Ormerods going for them from 34th. Titus Buchellis is down, taking the Southampton A kart from 35th. And then rounding out the 36th kart grid is the University of West of England with George Malin at the wheel. That's your grid for race 3 of round number 7 of the British University Karting Championship for 2018.
We'll keep an eye on it, but I'm seeing Cambridge back in 2nd place for race 2.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, just to like
interesting. We've got a spinner on the entrance into Horseshoe, just as they went to rolling up on the crowd. It's the number 47, which is University of West of England A. Oh, okay. A spinner is the University of West of England A. I was about to say they may have to start from the back of the grid, but they are the back of the grid. So I think George. I think he's okay there. That's George Malin in that kart. That's the time to get a spin, but it doesn't make any difference. Although I did see another driver spin around somewhere in the crowd. Be interesting to see if they resume their standard grid spot. But they're now going around the top crowd, it's called here. It's just a short loop. We use a cut through. We often use cut throughs on these rolling up laps, but at Clay Pigeon, the cut through actually allows us to do a very, very small loop and cut out most of the circuit just whilst everyone's finding their grid positions. I have to say, I think we've been caught out slightly the first 2 races today, because we're used to them starting up at the top just before top bend, or certainly I am in previous years, whereas now they are using the same line for start and finish.
It's probably a good idea.
It is probably a good idea, to be fair, but it does mean that we're going to get very short notice as to whether we're going for a race start. They are going round again, so they're not quite happy to start it yet. But yes, this row 3 disruptors, what I mean by that, we've got Birmingham A's Rihanna Percox and Toti Miso for Leeds Beckett A. These are teams and drivers who are very quick. but they're not in that championship battle. That's what we mean when we say disruptors. It's teams who are going to risk taking points off of some of these. Obviously, everyone out there ultimately is a disruptor, but based on the form we've seen so far, it'll be interesting to see how row 3 fares in this one. It looks like we're ready for the start then. Gareth Haynes on driver's right leads them away for Brooks A. The engine notes rise and we're away.
Jump starts, possibly.
Possible jump start from the anti-pole side of the grid, because up to the front goes Coventry B.
But back in. Brooks A back into first.
And Jacks has gone straight through. Joseph Jacks follows through. So Huddersfield A up to second. Oxford Brooks A up front with Huddersfield second. Then Coventry B through the first part of the lap. Someone's round at hairpin. Didn't catch who it is. It's an intermediate class kart. We'll keep an eye on it as they come around to finish the first lap already. Relatively short lap here. But it looks like it's Brooks A from Huddersfield A, Coventry B, and Birmingham look to have got up to 4th place. As they cross the line, side by side for the lead already. Joseph Jacks versus Gareth Haynes. Gareth Haynes covers. He covers it late though, and Jacks is going to get the cut back off of turn 2. Huddersfield A take the lead. That was side by side action as they finished lap 1. And Joseph Jacks looks to, he doesn't go defensive into their hairpin. Looks like they're going to work together. Meanwhile, Rihanna Percox is up to 3rd for Birmingham A. So it's Brooks A. It's not, sorry, I'm reading the old. That's old news. That was only 30 seconds ago. Huddersfield A ahead of Oxford Brooks A. Birmingham A up to 3rd place.
Jump start penalty confirmed. Coventry B 31.
Yeah, and now side by side is Exeter A and Birmingham A over 3rd place. But Gareth Haynes is on the inside of Joseph Jacks through turn 2 and has got it done. Another change for the lead. A second change for the lead in as many laps, pretty much. So Gareth Haynes up to 1st. Meanwhile, the battle for 3rd place saw Ryan Luscombe get up to 3rd for Exeter A, ahead of Rihanna Percox in the Birmingham number 10 kart, as there's 2 karts off again in the hairpin. Loughborough B have been involved in an incident already, as have Nottingham B. So we'll have to keep an eye here, because we are getting one of the top bend. Here they go onto one of the fastest straights in the BUKC. I say it's a straight, it's got a corner in the middle called Billy's Blind, but it's flat out through there into the braking zone for 2. And here we can see Ryan Luscombe in the number 6 Exeter car leading Rihanna Percox of Birmingham. Then comes Warwick A with Ben Street at the wheel for them in this one. And Piers Pryor working his way up. He's up now to 17th place on Loughborough A, and also keep an eye out on Brooks B. They're up to the top 20 now, as well as Newcastle A have come to a stop at turn 2. One of our intermediate teams there,
and that's
one
important.
Of our key, it is important, isn't it? Key intermediate teams in terms of that class's overall championship. As the number 38 emerges from a black flag, I would imagine that's Swansea B.
And mentioning the Inters, Liverpool currently in 13th place on circuit. This is a really good start to the day for them.
Absolutely. So we've got plenty happening in the intermediate class. We've got plenty happening in the Prems. We've got 2 of our key players in the Premier class leading this race, as Toti Miso puts a lap on the number 38. As there's a penalty for Northumbria A, currently running 15th. That penalty is for cutting the circuit. That's an unusual one. That's for Northumbria A, which, if memory serves, has, is that George Story at the wheel of that? It is indeed. Didn't see that one, but somewhere. That's more than a track limit warning. That's an out and out.
You've invented your own track,
You've invented
sir.
your own track.
Just to mention as well, the 3rd and 4th place battle does also have championship implications, because at the moment, Birmingham A 8th in the championship, Exeter A 9th. So let's keep an eye on that.
Sorry, Andrew. John Pring of Imperial A is having a fantastic race as well. He's currently running 6th, with Nottingham running behind him.
Trouble for the 11. Trouble for the 11. That's Oxford Brooks B. Oh no! Here we go. This is, well, How many times have we seen this? A leader of the championship coming into the 7th round. Oxford Brookes B are starting to wobble. They're in trouble. They are down in, where have they fallen to, Howard? 30th.
30th.
Oh
what
my
was
goodness
it that happened?
me.
Were they off? Or
Yeah, they were off. It was on the approach to the chicane. They were being bump started. But this is not good news for Oxford Brookes B, and is opening the door. It's opening the door to the two teams at the front of this field, their own teammates in Oxford Brookes A and Huddersfield A. This is brilliant. For the neutrals, this is just what we wanted.
Well, this is an absolute surprise. The team that has led the championship going into today, because of their consistency. They haven't, we were saying to ourselves last night, with no disrespect meant, sort of where did Brookes B come from? Because they haven't necessarily been winning round after round after round, but it's just been a case of the consistency. And we've seen Joe Bleakley fall back in his race. Now we see Daniel Burgess with issues in this one. They've run out of bullets in the gun, Andrew. Their dropped races, well, you only get the one dropped race out of the 4 you contested in a sprint round. This is going to start hurting them.
Battle for the lead. Joseph Jacks is all over the back of Haynes in the Oxford Brookes A kart. I wonder if they know. Do they know that Oxford Brookes B are in trouble? There's a curb warning for Piers Pryor and Loughborough A. But this is on now. This is properly on now as we're approaching halfway of round 7. Who is going to barge through the door? Because it's well and truly open now for someone to snatch away this championship. Jacks is on the inside. He's on the inside into the chicane and he's got him. A fantastic move by Joseph Jacks. But Haynes is fighting back. This is fantastic stuff down the straight. Joseph Jacks is going to have the inside and takes the lead.
It's kicking off for 3rd place as well, Andrew. Ryan Luscombe and Toti Miso got side by side coming onto this lap through the traffic. Side by side, Gareth Haynes cut back out of Horseshoe, gets Joseph Jacks back. It's Brookes A back to the lead of the race. And ironically, the lap finishes just as they started it, with Brookes A just ahead of Huddersfield. Joseph Jacks hasn't got space to try on the inside or try the cut back out of 2. Gets the job done before the yellow flag. The 45 stationary right in the middle. That's Newcastle again. A key player in the intermediate class. Stationary for the 2nd time this race. It's going to have to be Newcastle's drop score. And,
Jacks has run wide.
Again. Jacks has run wide coming out of the hairpin. And Gareth Haynes goes back to the lead again. That was an extremely uncharacteristic, what looked like an unforced error from Joseph Jacks in a Huddersfield A kart.
Look out, look out. Nottingham are on the move as well. Josh Watts in the black suit and the white helmet has got past Rihanna Percox. And is, I think past
He's
Exeter
side by
as well.
side with Luscombe. He's
Yeah,
side by side with Exeter
fourth.
for 3rd place. Coming on to the new lap. He's going to have the inside line into turn 2. And he's got it done. And Percox tries to follow through for Birmingham and gets it done as well. So Exeter down 2 places.
But meanwhile, Leeds Beckett A, talk about disruptors, mate. Leeds Beckett A are up to 3rd, Imperial A are up to 4th. This is all going on behind the leaders, going through the hairpin now. Oh, this is brilliant. This is really turning into a fantastic round of the BUKC, and we're not even halfway through it yet.
Gareth Haynes leads by about a cart's length from Joseph Jackson, the Huddersfield A kart. Then it's Toti Miso having a good race for Leeds Beckett A in 3rd place. Now up to 4th. Is Josh Watts for Nottingham A, and then it's Imperial A, Birmingham A, Exeter A, and Warwick A. Yeah, we didn't even cover Imperial A in amongst that battle, but John Pring having what I think is the race of his season so far as well. So some drivers really coming to the fore in this final day of racing in the Mains Championship. Meanwhile, Piers Pryor up to 13th. I saw him have an interesting time getting past the Liverpool A kart a couple of laps ago. Got a curb warning for it, not a contact warning, but got through. So he is working his way up. But at the moment, it's Brookes A, Huddersfield A at the front, with Nottingham A chasing down Toti Miso for 3rd place through the traffic. And again, Joseph Jacks beginning to close up onto the back of Gareth Haynes as they work their way through the traffic. Oh, they're going to go either side, are they? Oh, I think Joseph Jacks thought about doing Hakkinen on Schumacher there and using the back marker as an opportunity to go at the inside of Horseshoe, but it wasn't quite on. The number 40 Nottingham C car almost played a starring role there.
You were saying to me last night, mate, we've had some great battles in the BUKC this year, but we haven't had many for the lead. How's this?
I know, it's been amazing. In all 3 races so far today, particularly race 1 and this.
Jax is really, really good through turn 2.
He is. He loves having that cut-back line.
Yeah,
I have to say,
down.
that's... I'm not sure I'm quite on a par with Mr. Jax, but that's one of my favourite places to get past as well. If you can take a tight line through the first part of 2 and keep it tight. As he gets his nose alongside coming out of Horseshoe, but there's nothing on there round the top part of the circuit. Fantastic battling this is. As we go into, we're not even halfway through this race yet here at Clay Pigeon.
Driver off it, drive through again! Jax has done it again! My goodness me! The audacity of that! To go past in the exactly same way. Now, can he hold it? Because it's the second half of the lap where Haynes is stronger. But no, I think Joseph Jax has got this, and he's already got a kart length lead. Another fantastic manoeuvre from Joseph Jax. For me, he's been one of the best overtaking machines this season. But can he defend now?
Sorry, Andrew. Change for 4th place. John Pring in the Imperial A kart had just got past Josh Watts in Nottingham A's effort. So it's now, well, for now, it's Huddersfield, Oxford Brooks A. And I think you're right, Andrew. I think Jax for Huddersfield is stronger through the first part of the lap, and Haynes is stronger through the second, as there's a driver off in the S's. That's 54. Number 54, which makes it the X to B kart. Huddersfield A, Oxford Brooks A, Leeds Beckett A, Imperial A, Nottingham A, Exeter A, Birmingham A, Warwick A, Nottingham Trent A, and Sheffield A, your top 10. It's an A-teams show out there at the moment. Gareth Haynes for Brooks A is all over the back of Joseph Jax, and they're matching each other corner for corner here. The pace is really good. In fact, fastest lap by Joseph Jax is the fastest lap of the race of 40.975. Haynes' fastest lap, a 40.979. 4 1,000 slower. The pace is so close between these two, and they're about to hit traffic. They're about to hit traffic.
They have hit traffic.
Which it includes the number 13 UWTST Swansea. So they're coming up onto the back of. This is a
Oxford
battle.
Brooks B. They're coming up behind the championship leaders.
They are. They are. That's the Oxford Brooks B car, isn't it? I thought there was a key player in there.
And they're through. Now that was wise. That's quite key.
Yeah, that was good for Daniel.
That was going to be interesting to see how Oxford Brooks B would play that. And they just went, nope, we're out of this particular race. Let's just get out of the way as Haynes is on the inside again.
Whoa.
He likes the hairpin. And Jax has a hand up, and Haynes is through. Haynes is through. A change for the lead again. Oxford Brooks A back to the front.
Yeah, that was good driving from Daniel Burgess in the Brooks B kart to let him through. But what a battle this is at the head of this race. Toti Miso's having a fairly quiet time of it at the moment in 3rd. The battle's really going on for 4th place.
Yellow flag. I thought Jax was lining up for a move into turn 2, but he didn't quite get it done. Can he get it up the inside? No, Haynes is wise to that now. He knows he's been done twice by that move through the long right-hander into the chicane, and he's locking it down now.
There's yellow flags out of the Horseshoe for a stricken kart, which is in a very unusual part of the lap, Andrew. Looks like one of our intermediate runners. I can see the
38.
side of it. Yeah, which makes it Swansea B, who is having a difficult race anyway, I believe. They're now at the back of this field. What a battle this is, though, at the head of the field. Just over 10 minutes to go. How's the battle for 4th looking? Well,
Jax is, he's nearly got it again. He's nearly got that overlap again into the chicane.
Josh Watts leading a cavalcade through the traffic. It's himself, John Pring in the Imperial A kart in 5th, Rhiannon Percox for Birmingham A in 6th, and Ryan Luscombe for Exeter A in 7th. Actually, 8th place Warwick A I try and remember who's in this one.
Oh, there's all sorts going on behind him. Look, I could see Luscombe and Rihanna Burcock's all involved. The number 16 of Ben Street's in there as well. Warwick coming through the field.
And Ben Street's just set the fastest lap of the race at 40.967, so his pace is blistering to get onto the back of this pack. Super. I mean, we are seeing the fantastic battle for the lead, but as ever, Andrew, the battle for the top 10 is hotly contested as they put a lap on the Oxford kart. That was a bit hairy through the S's.
Yeah, and wasn't aware that he was a lap down.
Yeah. The 49 was in amongst that as well. That being Loughborough B.
Let's just watch out. I think a contact warning might be coming on that one.
There is for Kingston A. There's a contact warning. That's not involved. That's not related to that. Kingston A already have a penalty to be applied post-race. So we mentioned, Andrew, penalty for Liverpool A for track limits. That's a 10-second penalty for one of the teams contesting over the intermediates as the number 60 kart of Leeds C proves difficult for Joseph Jacks to get past, to put a lap on.
Gareth Haynes has got a bit of a gap through the traffic to Joseph Jacks. They've just gone past Tom Dent there in the number 60. This is tense, mate. This is really, really tense stuff.
It really is. It
now,
really is.
The important thing that I just want to say, Huddersfield really, really smashing it out the park today, which is what they need to do. But it is completely irrelevant if Oxford Brooks A continue to do their fantastic job as well.
Absolutely.
Huddersfield A's championship winning permutation is win both rounds and hope Oxford Brooks A don't finish fourth in both rounds or higher.
Yeah, Ben Street is on the move for Warwick, Andrew. He's just got past Rihanna Percox of Birmingham A in the first couple of corners of the lap, so now up to 6th place for Warwick A. Good battle happening there. Also a good battle at the moment happening between Ryan Luscombe in the Exeter car behind them and Nottingham Trent A's Henry Jackson. So battle going on for 4th between Nottingham A and Imperial A. Battle going on for 6th between Birmingham A and Warwick, now going in Warwick's favour. That'll be confirmed next time they come around. And Exeter A and Nottingham Trent A having a good battle as well. Right,
leaders back bumper to bumper with one another now. Let's focus on this battle here. Oh, as we go back to the leaders, apologies. The 2 and the 6. So they've cleared that traffic behind them. They've got the number 70 up ahead of them. This is a crucial lap for Jacks. Can he catch and get back onto the bumper of Haynes in that number 2 kart?
We're into the last 7 minutes pretty much of this race. So plenty of time here for moves to be made as the race comes to a crescendo. Toti Miso must be wondering where everybody is. 6 seconds down the road from our lead battle and 3 seconds up the road from Josh Watts for Nottingham A, who's still got, actually no, John Pringer's fallen back from Josh Watts, so Imperial A now falling back into the clutches of Ben Street as the lead battle goes back together. Joseph Jacks puts a nose alongside coming out of the horseshoe, but unfortunately because the next corner goes right, there's not a lot you can do with it. But here he goes, he's got a good run down this main straight, side by side as they cross the line. He'll have the inside line for turn 2. Joseph Jacks down the inside under braking, gets it done. And Gareth Haynes had to go quite wide there, so I don't think he's going to get the cutback. Change for the lead again. And Huddersfield A come to the head of the field with just 6 minutes to go here. This has been a fantastic, pretty much race-long battle between these two drivers for these two teams who are both going for the championship today. At the moment, it's Joseph Jacks. Gareth Haynes is going to try every which way he can between now and the end of the race. Ben Street on the move as well for Warwick A.
Now
he's now on the back
They've
of John
switched
Brink.
back. They've switched back.
Now, why was that?
Why did Jacks just... He was pointing to Gareth Haynes to say go through. I'm not quite sure why.
I mean, there was perhaps a little bit of rubbing as he went up the inside there, but I'd have thought it was firm but fair. I wouldn't have thought he'd get a penalty for that, but he's going to get better drivers off of hairpin.
Do you know what? That is Joseph using a very level head today. If there's any doubt on a day like today, just give it back and try again. That's very, very wise.
It is wise. that comes with the caveat of you can be
it's
oversensitive.
Well,
but
no, because
I
it's
don't
1
disagree.
point versus a potential loss of 3 or 4.
It is. That is true. That is a very good point, mate.
And he's still got time to do it again.
On terms with him. Not got an opportunity there, but it's close as you like, and you can see the tighter line.
He's got always got that overlap
He's going to try
again.
the inside, is he, of the S's? You can see that tighter line that he's trying there. That can work really well and set you up for the S's nicely. What's happening further back? Toti Miso still running quietly in 3rd place. Josh Watts for Nottingham A in 4th. John Pring now locked into battle with Ben Street of Warwick A and Rhianna Percox of Birmingham A. Henry Jackson running well in 8th for Nottingham Trent, and Ryan Luscombe for Exeter A. Kingston A running 10th, but remember they have penalties to be applied.
Right, let's have a quick run through our 5 key protagonists. Here are 2 of them, the 2 and the 6. We know what they're doing. Let's move a little bit further down the field. Nottingham A striking back after their bad first race in 4th, so they're getting a good haul of points. Oxford Brooksby is on the inside, goes Jacks again. Is he looking for the lead? Yes, he's got it again, but this time it's down at the hairpin. Can he hold it into the horseshoe? Yes, he can. Joseph Jacks hits the front again. Penalty. Big penalty for Warwick A.
Well, that's gutting for Ben Street. He was having a really good run of it this race. Currently challenging the back of John Pring in the Imperial car.
Haynes has got a run. He's right up behind Joseph Jacks. Is he going to try and throw it down the inside into turn 2? No. No, he's not. Right, I'm just going to keep an eye on these in case they change position again. But the key point in this race, I'm afraid to say, I think the defence of the BUKC title is dying. Loughborough A down in 11th. They didn't have a good first race. They've got to win both rounds to have any chance of winning the championship. I simply don't think that's going to be happening. But I'm going to say it's been a valiant defence of the title again from Loughborough. We know they'll be back, but I'm calling it here and now. Loughborough A will not have the number 1 plate on their cards at the start of next season.
I have to agree with you there, mate. I think it's pretty much impossible for them to come back now. What's happened to Brooks B, I ask, because they're
they
down
had a spin early in the race, remember?
No, but they're down to 34th, mate.
It doesn't really matter.
As to the inside goes Haynes. Gareth Haynes up the inside, but he goes wide on exit. And Jacks gets it back immediately. Fantastic wheel-to-wheel action here. It's 2.5 minutes left of this race.
Right, let's just enjoy this, because this is going to be 2.5 minutes of the best racing you've ever seen in the BUKC. There's cheers down on the start-finish. Haynes has got a run. He's got half a car length alongside, but Jacks pulls back in front. No change into turn 2. I've no idea what's going to happen in the next 2 minutes.
Penalty for Brooks B, Andrew. They're already having a bad race. This will definitely be a drop score, but they've just got a 10-second penalty for track limit. So things going from bad to worse for our leaders coming into today. But we're watching these 2 teams who are hoping to challenge Brooks B.
Oh,
Haynes takes a really wide line out of the horseshoe. I think he was almost trying to get an inside line into the next right-hand corner, which, conveniently enough, is called right-hand. The number 40, we've already seen it play a starring role today in them putting a lap on it. It's Nottingham C. They both go up the inside of Nottingham C. Now Haynes tries the tighter line and sets himself up through the S's. What a move! He dishes out to Joseph Jacks exactly what Jacks has been doing throughout the race. Gets the cut back off of 2 and gets the job done up the S's. What a move from Haynes. Will Joseph Jacks be able to respond in the last sector? He's going to try and get a nose alongside out of the horseshoe, but that doesn't do. We've got 2 right-hand corners after that, and it's not you're not going around the outside of there. Onto the main straight. He's got a good drive off the corner, Andrew. Side by side as they cross the line. It's a hair's breadth between them on the inside of 2. Jacks takes the lead back. Haynes is going to try and get it back into the S's, and he does! The cut back off of turn 2. This is superb racing here at Clay Pigeon. This potentially is for the round and potentially is for this championship. This is amazing. Good drive off the corner from Joseph Jacks. Tries, there's not going to be anything around the outside, but he gets good cut back, but has the gap closed by Haynes.
There's 1 more lap to go. This is absolutely sensational. This is by far the best race of the year. The leaders will see last lap. Can Gareth Haynes hold off Joseph Jacks? Hayes has run deep. He's run very deep. Jack's going to get the cutback. No, he's not. How on earth did Gareth Hayes save that? But he's wiggling off the straight. They're side by side again, going down into the hairpin. Can Jax go around the outside? No. Can he cut it back on the inside? I cannot believe this. There's 3 corners to go. Can Oxford Brooks A hold on? He's run wide again. He's run wide.
Around the outside.
I cannot believe this. They're going to go to the line. It's going to be a drag race to the line. I think Brooks are going to take it. They're side by side. This is unbelievable. And Brooks A win it. Brooks A win it in the most unbelievable race I have seen in my life. That was awesome. That was brilliant. And how important could it be? 60 points in round 7, race 3. There's a shake of hands. Gareth Hayes, Joseph Jax, I applaud you. Yeah. That was fantastic.
62 thousandths the gap across the line, Andrew. And you just felt like it was building up all the time through the race. What a finish that was. I'm going to run through the rest. Leeds Beckett A. Good job, Toti Miso. Must have wondered why everyone else was finishing 3rd. Josh Watts finishes 4th for Nottingham A. John Pring, good drive for him. Imperial A come home in 5th. Ben Street finishes 6th on the road for Warwick, but there is a penalty to be applied there. Rihanna Percott 7th for Birmingham A. Ryan Luscombe, good race for him, finishes 8th for Exeter A. Henry Jackson finishes 9th for Nottingham Trent A. Oh, James Mannion finishes 10th on the road for Exeter A, but there is a penalty to be applied there. For Kingston, sorry, finishes 10th, but there's a penalty to be applied where. Then it's Piers Pryor in the Loughborough A car, then Sheffield A, Northumbria A, Brunel A, Leeds B, Southampton A, Coventry B, Liverpool A, University of West of England A. Good job that, 19th from the back of the grid. Loughborough B, 20th. Loughborough C, Bristol A, Leeds C, UWTSD, Swansea, Cranfield A, Nottingham B, Oxford A, Manchester Met A, Exeter B, Northumbria B round out the top 30, and then it's Bath A, Nottingham C, Aston B, Brooks B. That's going to be their drop race. Well, they'll hope it's going to be their drop race. Swansea B, 35th and 36th. And also, that's important for the intermediate class. Newcastle A finishing in last place in that one. My goodness me, mate. That is one of the battles of the modern era of the BUKC there. That was a fantastic, fantastic brawl at the front.
We've been doing these commentaries for 3 seasons now. Is it something about this comms box, mate? But it's that is probably take out the super final that we did here 2 years ago. I think we've just commentated on the best race we've ever seen in the BUKC. I'm
always cautious to say these things because I know there's so many great battles we've had over the couple of years we've done, but that really was a fantastic. And you know what, Clay Pigeon, you say is it this comms box? Clay Pigeon serves up such good racing. It's such a fast-flowing circuit, but it does have overtaking opportunities. That was a brilliant, brilliant battle. It's definitely up there, if not one of the best mains battles that we've seen on track over the last couple of years. Absolutely superb. I doff my cap to both of those drivers. There was fantastic battling going throughout the field, but we had to focus on that. That was absolutely fantastic. It's dry and the sun is shining at Clay Pigeon. It's finals weekend. Mate, I'm having a ball so far. As I think we're ready, are we?
Yeah, I think we are ready down on the grid.
Let's hand down
to Jacob Harris. And for those on the Mixler stream, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back for race 4 after a sit down and a drink of water later.
Not sure to get an audio.
What the?
Okay, they are coming over for an interview. I think they finished having a quick chat off camera. Here we are. So second place goes to Joe Jax. of Huddersfield. Joe, so close.
Yeah, gutted, to be honest with you. Well, it's a good result for the team, but absolutely gutted. I didn't know that was the last lap as well. I was going to go for a move on the next lap, but shows that you need to concentrate a bit more, I suppose. But no, I just couldn't get away. When I got in front, I just couldn't get away. We were both like heel and toe all the way around, and a few back markers got in the way. But no, a really clean race, and I had to let him back pass because I couldn't really take that move up into the bottom corner. So yeah, it was good. Just absolutely gutted that I didn't get a win.
Hopefully it's as fun for you as it was for us to watch.
Oh yeah, like there's action all the time, every lap. I don't think we were like more than 2 karts lengths away from each other. So it was, yeah, really good racing. But like I said, absolutely gutted that I didn't get the win. But
And the man who did beat you, just off shot there, I don't know why he didn't come in to start. Mr. Haynes, how do you feel?
Yeah, just happy to have won, I guess. I started pole, so be in a bit of trouble if I didn't at least come right at the front. And thankfully I did. Good race from Huddersfield there, and just fighting all the way through, I guess. It was a great race.
I asked Joe the same thing. Was it as much fun for you as it was for us to watch?
Oh yeah, it was great fun, just battling all the time. It's nice to have some even karts out there again.
Highly recommend watching that back. I'm sure you both will when you get back. Even I'm going to watch that one back, and I don't think I've watched the race back all year. It was genuinely phenomenal. I've asked the Brooks lads already. Joe, are we going to see a strong show from Huddersfield at the party tonight?
oh yeah, definitely. We're all camping here. We've got the big caravan and everything, so we're staying for the weekend.
Solid. Plenty more racing like that to come. Cheers, guys. First and second place of race number 3 there. Apologies for the lack of grid interviews over the last few hours. Hour. Sam Cobb won race 1 for Warwick, and if I see him, I will certainly give him an interview. And I believe my main man, Neil, won race 2 for Coventry. I've not seen either of them loitering around here. We can't go down to the front of the grids due to the technical difficulties, or at least we're not going to risk it just now, maybe a little bit later. I'm going to shuffle my way over to the Warwick team and see if we can find Sam. Are we all right to come over here, James? He's giving me a face saying maybe not. Sam? Yeah. Here we are. Winner of race number 1, Sam Cobb. What? You had a shower or something?
I got changed and got out. I'm not out again until the Enduro, so have a break, chill out.
So winner of race number 1, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was good. I got into the lead about 5-10 minutes in, past Golin, and then saw Brooks had a penalty that doesn't seem to have appeared on the sheet, so I don't know what's happening there. But yeah, I just sort of took it easy through the traffic because so many people were picking up penalties, and then Golin started catching me, so thought I should drive fast again, and brought it home. So yeah, not bad.
Are you hitting form just in time for Drivers' Champs?
I don't know about hitting form. I'm always good round here. I've come here a lot. I've raced here a lot, but yeah, we'll see what happens on the weekend.
And you've Alistair out in this one, I see. What are your hopes for Warwick? Where do you want to finish this season?
We're at 6th in the championship at the moment. It's very tight from like 5th through 9th. So yeah, we just need a couple of good rounds and we'll see what happens. I reckon top 10's definitely on. We'll definitely finish top 10. If we finish 5th or 6th, that'd be great.
We're going to see a strong Warwick contingent at the party tonight.
Oh, definitely, yeah. We're going for it.
Fantastic. Sam, see you at the bar.
Cheers.
Sam Cobb there, winner of race number 1. I have been looking around to try to see the Coventry team. Unfortunately, they are very elusive. I think they're at the front of the grid, which is a bit far for a camera. But I tell you what, let's, for a change, have a bit of a chat to the guys at the back. I think Ben here. Ben, last time I interviewed you on pole position, very different circumstances here. What are you doing? What are you doing at the back?
We decided to have a mix around because none of our grids were particularly special. So yeah, we decided, what the hell, we're not fighting for a championship, so may as well try it from the back here. So it should be fun.
What position are you in here?
12.
Can you hear me?
chilled on the grid, so he's clearly quite calm coming into this one. We'll get to that in a moment. Row 2, Harry Taylor for Manchester Metropolitan A and Connor Crickmore for Loughborough C. Row number 3, Matthew Taylor for Oxford Brooks B and Bradley Wemyss for Leeds B. Kyle Knight and Sam Nash make up the 4th row of the grid, starting for Newcastle A and Brunel A respectively. And then it's Aaron Pretty for Nottingham Trent A and Tom Thickpenny for Loughborough A to round out the top 10. Row 6 on the grid is Jamie Henderson for Northumbria A and Daniel Cohen for Aston B. Row 7, Matthew Ryder for Loughborough B and James King for Oxford A. Row 8, Elliot Frost for Leeds C and Matt Slate for UWTSD Swansea. Row number 9, Jake Lever for Glasses Wheatman for Northumbria B in 26th. Row number 14 is Matthew Bolton for Liverpool A and Benjamin Topless for Sheffield A. Rounding out the top 30 is Jarvis Devon for Exeter A and Ed Barrs for Exeter B. Row number 16 on the grid, Matthew Arnold for Leeds Beckett A and Andreas Goodsold for Birmingham A. Row 17 is Stephen Letts for Huddersfield A and Scott Deacon for Swansea B. And rounding out the 36 kart grid on row number 18 is Ryan Chalmers for Coventry B and Jamie Zyra for Brooks A. Some teams here will be looking to come through the field. I'm looking at Huddersfield A and Brooks A from a championship perspective, both starting towards the back. Look out for Birmingham A as well, trying to come through. Liverpool A could do with a good drive coming through for Matthew Bolton for intermediate class points.
Is that Tom Thickpenny?
It is Tom Thickpenny, and doesn't that mean he's at the back?
Possibly. If
that
he did that in a Club 100 sprint race.
Yeah, that's the back.
Yeah?
As far as I'm aware, under the rules, Andrew, that's Loughborough A from 10th on the grid, having to start at the back under the rules. Or certainly the race, they're at liberty to start the race without him. Now, super slowly here, and I think try and resume his 10th spot on the grid. I'm not sure how strictly it's going to be enforced. I suppose because he's very quickly resumed his spot.
Let's just see what the reaction from Jimbo is going to be as they come back round, because the Loughborough A karts was being pointed at as he retook his position.
Yeah. I mean, the rule is supposed to be so that it doesn't delay the start.
No, I think we're good.
I think because he got back to it so quickly, it all sort of fell into place. That lucky escape, I think, for Loughborough A. They nearly lost out on one of their best grid spots of the day. We're ready for a start, though, and we're away. The engine notes rise. Steve Daly leads them away for University of West of England. Already Manchester Metropolitan is up the inside of Southampton.
Oh, chaos.
Oh dear. Oh, my goodness me.
Nottingham spun. That might get restarted. Oh, there's another one off in the chicane.
Wow. Sorry, I was looking at the front, but that is so messy. But no full start flag right now, Andrew. Not yet. It's not come through. Everybody is looking. There's more people off down at hairpin. This has been a disastrous start. Harry Taylor has got to the front in the 79 Manchester Met. It's called good. It's being called good, Andrew.
Okay.
There's no full start. So we now look who is being caught out.
Nottingham had.
Here,
Nottingham had. Number 4.
Newcastle have. I've seen them. My goodness me. Right then, at the end of one of the scruffiest clean starts, I say that in inverted commas ever, Manchester Met A ahead of UEA and Southampton A. Involved in incidents, Newcastle A, Aston B.
Oh, sorry, huge crash towards down at turn 2. I think there was someone already spun, and then 4 karts coming in. Didn't spot. Liverpool are involved, but that was a big hit. That was a huge hit.
Oh,
the 49 was involved as well. About 4 karts off down on the exit of turn 2.
This has been a terrible, terrible start to the race. Involved in incidents though are Nottingham C, Northumbria B, Nottingham A, Cranfield A, Imperial A, Newcastle A, UWTSD Swansea, Aston B and Nottingham B. Oh, Andrew, this has been, after the high of the previous race, this has been a horrible start to this race. Big impact, as you say, into turn 2.
The trouble was there was one driver already round and facing the wrong way, and then 3 karts wide approaching. It wasn't that they were racing on the yellow flag, because they were right behind the incident, and there was just no one. They couldn't go anywhere, and they just went straight into the driver who's still struggling. I just want to check who this is. Who's it's one of the premiers as well. It's a Premier kart. Is it Exeter?
It is Exeter.
It is. It's number 8.
It's Exeter and Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's Liverpool So 2 of the big teams in intermediates have already had problems, Andrew. Newcastle and Liverpool. And Nottingham A have had a disaster start as well. Meanwhile, amidst all of that, good to see that all drivers are okay after that. But in the battle for the lead, Diego Martinez has got to the head of this field for Southampton A. Steve Daly in second. And it's now Brunel A at the head of this field, which has Sam Nash at the wheel. Not confirmed yet on timing, but I believe he's got himself up to third. Indeed he has. Then it's Harry Taylor in the 79 Manchester Metropolitan, and then it is then it's Matthew Taylor in the Brooks B cart. So Diego Martinez for Southampton, Steve Daly for UEA, Sam Nash for Brunel A, Harry Taylor for Manchester Metropolitan A, then Matthew Taylor for Brooks B. Northumbria A are next with Jamie Henderson at the wheel. What an odd start to the race it's been, I've got to say, mate. It's all sorts of things going on there. Loughborough A currently up to 12th in a battle with Alistair Irvine in the Warwick A cart.
And they just say as well, it's clouding over.
It is clouding over. I know exactly what website you're bringing up, mate, and I think it's exactly right. So who's that off? Who's that off into the tyres quite far at turn 2? It's one of our Premier class teams. Is that Brunel? I think it's Brunel. It's the number 7 of Brunel.
Yep.
That's spun from 3rd place. That's harsh. Look, for Sam Nash, spins from 3rd. The number 7 Brunel. Didn't see what led to it, so let's keep an eye on the penalties board. Oh, goodness me, this one's turning quite scruffy in many ways. Steve Daly is sort of forming the cork in the bottle. He's got Northumbria A now up to 3rd. Northumbria A really benefited from that. Jamie Henderson up to 3rd place, up 3 places on the last lap. Diego Martinez leads them by about 3.5 seconds from Steve Daly in the UEA car. Then it's Jamie Henderson for Northumbria A, then Matthew Taylor for Brooks B. Up to 5th now, it's Leeds C's Elliot Frost. Then it's Harry Taylor in Manchester Metropolitan, and then it's Bristol A. Who's out for Bristol? It's Abhishek Gautam up to 7th place at the moment.
No need to worry anybody. No rain on the radar in the region. It's just cloudy. Nothing to worry about. Stephen Letts making his way through the order now. I can see him closing in on the back of the lights with Tom Thickpenny and Alistair Irvine. And where are Oxford Brooks A? Where have they ended up now? They're 17th.
They are.
So this is quite crucial. Stephen Letts is pulling his way through the order, and we saw him do this at Hooton Park, but then end up getting penalties and losing, frankly, a potential win. Oh, there's a penalty for Loughborough. Tom Thickpenny. What's it for, Howard?
Kart change.
Interesting.
As in what? As in changing is that as in changing the kart during rolling up and it being deemed to not be a problem?
Possibly.
Because there's a when you bring in a kart and report that it's mechanically wrong, mechanically faulty, they'll test the kart, and I believe if they don't find fault with it, they can. I don't know, Andrew. I've not seen that one handed out ever, if I'm perfectly honest. That's a very odd one. Or maybe it's kart changing on the grid. It's a very odd one anyway. But yes, penalty for Tom Thickpenny. We saw him spinning on the rolling up, but he didn't.
Yep.
That was obviously post the change, because we watched him like a hawk, resuming his place on the grid. So I'm not sure, mate. That one is very, very odd. Diego Martinez continues to lead this one for Southampton.
He's being challenged, though. Is that by a back marker?
It is by a back marker. It's by Liverpool A after their incident down at turn 2. Northumbria A doing really well with Jamie Henderson in the wheel. Then it's Harry Taylor in the Manchester Metropolitan, who's recently got past Frost in the Leeds C effort and Taylor in the Brooks B effort. Gautam still running well for Bristol A in 6th. Actually, correction, Elliot Frost's got back past. In fact, we're looking at the battle now, aren't we, as they pick their way through the traffic. And look at that, Brooks B gets past Manchester Metropolitan A, so change of position there. Taylor goes down. Actually, Taylor's not very descriptive there, is it? Because they're both Taylors. Harry Taylor losing out to Matthew Taylor. Brooks B now ahead of Manchester Metropolitan A, as there's a contact warning for Brooks B. Nottingham Trent doing pretty well, and Nottingham Trent fans will know that that's a horrendous pun. Sorry, Aaron Pretty. But they're currently running 11th in a battle with Sheffield A. Alistair Irvin involved in that battle as well. So good battle in the lower part of the top 10. As up the inside, that's just putting a lap on one of the Aston carts, I believe, for Harry Taylor there. So Diego Martinez leads now by 5 seconds, got a comfortable lead over Jamie Henderson, who's having a fantastic race for Northumbria A at the moment. Elliot Frost is also having a great race and is right on terms with Northumbria A in the number 60 lead C car. And then just behind him is Harry Taylor of Manchester Metropolitan A, who's got back past Harry Taylor of Manchester Metropolitan A, who's got back past Matthew Taylor of Brooks B. And then Tom Thickpenny is right on the back of them in the Loughborough A kart. And we haven't mentioned Huddersfield much, Andrew, but Stephen Letts.
Yeah, he's doing what he does, isn't he?
Stephen Letts from 33rd on the grid is running 7th.
And the battle has now started between Thickpenny, the Oxford Brooks B driver, which is, of course, Matthew Taylor. And there's a movement, and Letts is past.
Huddersfield and Brooks B side by side there. That's Huddersfield overtaking Brooks B.
So
Andrew, watch this man on your screen right now in the green suit. Stephen Letts is beginning distinctively the green suit with the orange right sleeve, which is rather distinctive. This man is giving us another masterclass so far in how to run through the field from the back of the grid. Swansea B, meanwhile, have picked up a 10-second penalty to be applied post-race for track limit warnings. But this is a repeat of what we saw at Hooton Park. Stephen Letts showing exactly how it's done. Now on the back of Tom Thickpenny in the Loughborough A car. Here they are, the number 6 of Huddersfield A, looking to get past the defending champions of Loughborough A, who in turn are trying to get past Manchester Metropolitan, who in turn are trying to get past Northumbria. Tom Thickpenny, Stephen Letts up the inside of the hairpin, Letts up the inside, and he's already got the job done. Past Loughborough A, up to 5th place now for Letts.
Thing is, though, Elliot Frost in the number 60 doing a fantastic job.
Sorry, that was for position, Andrew. They just got past Harry Taylor as well from Manchester Metropolitan.
Yeah, they did.
And now he's looking to get past the 35 of Northumbria A, Jamie Henderson.
Ridiculous.
This is amazing stuff from Stephen Letts. Watch and learn, everybody else. Stephen Letts is coming through. He's just got past 3 of the fastest drivers on the track in pretty much
Taylor's
one
wide.
lap. Now he's on the back of Elliot Frost. Elliot Frost in the number 60, that's for position in lead C. Stephen Letts on the outside going to the horseshoe, does the dummy up the inside of the horseshoe. Oh, sublime stuff. And then Northumbria A, Tom Thickpenny trying to cash in as well. Tom Thickpenny gets through, follows Letts through. So Loughborough A up as well. But Northumbria A's Jamie Henderson lost out a bit. Now Loughborough A and Manchester Metropolitan are side by side here. The 1 and the 79. And Harry Taylor holds on to it. Stephen Letts, though, now sets about catching up to Southampton A. It's an 8.9 second gap. Stephen Letts of Huddersfield A from 33rd up to the grid, up to 2nd place. Keep your eyes peeled for the number 6. And if you're watching timings, watch for the gap between the number 15 of Southampton A of Diego Martinez. Diego Martinez de Luca is no slouch in a go-kart, Andrew.
Especially round here.
Can he stop the absolute force of nature that is Stephen Letts in this Huddersfield A kart?
And he's now clear of the traffic as well as the sun starts to come out.
Tom Thickpenny up the inside of Elliot Frost in the lead C kart there, Andrew, for 2nd place. And Harry Taylor's going to try and come in as well. up the inside of the S's, but it's not on there. Thickpenny up to third place in Loughborough. Remember, there's a penalty to be applied to Loughborough at the end of this one. The 24 of Liverpool are a lap down, but they're proving difficult traffic because they've got the pace. One of our best intermediate class runners, Stephen Letts, is already pulling out a gap, and Tom Thickpenny is going to try and follow through here. So there's another contact warning for Manchester Metropolitan, excuse me. So Diego Martinez de Luca leads this one by 9.2 seconds.
His pace is
Stephen
good.
Letts in the Huddersfield A car. His pace is very good. Loughborough's Tom Thickpenny runs third. Elliot Frost having a good race for Leeds C in fourth place, the highest place of the intermediate drivers. But Harry Taylor in the Manchester Metropolitan A car, also an intermediate runner, has one or two things to say about that. Then comes Matthew Taylor in Brooks B's effort.
63 off down at the Horseshoe. That's a spin for them. They're going to lose at least a lap because of that. But I'm just keeping an eye on sector times. I tell you what, Diego Martinez, this is really, really good. He's a driver who's really come on form this season.
Yeah.
I remember watching him in the Super Final here at Drivers' Championship 2 years ago. But he's really, really starting to grow now and lead this Southampton team. It's a bit of a shame for him. I think they didn't have the best time at Bookmore and Wilton Mill, but they were great at Hooton Park, and it looks like they're pulling it out the bag again here at Clay Pigeon. Really good to watch. Got to say though, Harry Taylor and Tom Thickpenny, confused me for a second there, but Tom Thickpenny is sticking with Stephen Letts.
And Tom Thickpenny, did we cover the... Oh yes, we did, sorry. We did cover that overtake past Elliot Frost.
Elliot Frost is staying with them as well.
Yes, and the other person as well is Jamie Henderson in the number 35 Northumbria A car. He's right with Harry Taylor as well. And Abhishek Gautam in Bristol's effort. In fact, Abhishek now looking to get past Northumbria A, and he does so at the inside of turn 2. Can Jamie Henderson respond? No, he can't. We're looking back here on screen at the battle between Nottingham Trent in the 17 and Kingston A in the 36, which is a brilliant battle going on in the teens as well. So good battling going on throughout the field. But here it is, the battle, and the 63 gets out of the way. Good, sensible driving. He's just had a spin, so knows that he's a lap down. So this is the battle over 7th place between Manchester Metropolitan A, Northumbria A, Bristol A, and Alistair Irvin in the Warwick A car is catching up to the back of this as well. This is superb stuff. In fact, Brooks B are in this battle as well. So it's the battle for 5th place is what we're talking about here. Because Elliot Frost is staying with Tom Thickpenny. So Diego Martinez leads for Southampton. At the moment, well no, the gap is going down. There's only 10 minutes in the race to go though. Stephen Letts in 2nd place for Huddersfield, as Tom Thickpenny keeping up with him in the Huddersfield A car and Brooks A, in Loughborough A, car respectively. They won't let me forget that the wrong way around. And then Elliot Frost keeping up with them with Leeds C's car.
Challenge here by Sheffield, having a look at Oxford Brooks B, trying to get it into the first braking zone. No. Good driving there from Oxford Brooks B, but a wider line. They've gone wide, and Sheffield are going to be through. Sheffield are through into the chicane.
Lovely stuff there. Benjamin Topless driving for Sheffield A. Haven't mentioned him much this race, but he's been running well in this battle in the top 10. Definitely good drive for him, and he now tries to break the toe of Matthew Taylor and get onto terms with Harry Taylor in the Manchester Metropolitan car. Abhishek Gautam, Andrew, now on the back of Brooks B.
Penalty for Loughborough C, that's the number 18. I think it might be for track limits. Southampton A leading this one comfortably by 8.3 seconds and keeping the pace up. I'm looking down the track as well. The traffic isn't too bad for Southampton of what's coming up.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's as comfortable as he'd have liked. He's lost 4/10 a second, 4/10 per lap for the last 2 laps.
Who's that round?
Is that? It's one of our intermediate runners. It's the 70, which I think is Aston B, if memory serves.
It is indeed.
Oh, mate, my revision's been going well. Now, if we could all just keep the same cart numbers for next year, I reckon I'll have the field done by memory. But here we go then. In the last 10 minutes of this race, there's yellows out for that stricken Aston cart. Actually, the Aston cart's now underway again. And look at this, Tom Thickpenny challenging Stephen Letts. There's something rare. Up the inside of the hairpin, Tom Thinkpenny in the Loughborough car has just got past Stephen Letts in the Huddersfield car. That's not what I expected to be saying, given Stephen Letts' blistering pace over the last few laps. But Tom Thinkpenny doing a fantastic job in the Loughborough car. They have this penalty for kart changing. I don't know how big a penalty that is, Andrew. But look at this. Stephen Letts on the inside of Billy's blind. But Tom Thinkpenny's going to have the inside line into turn 2. But then Stephen Letts will come back and up the inside of the S's. Well, where's this? This battle's come out of nowhere. Fantastic battle over second place.
Stephen Letts needs to be careful here because we know Loughborough have that penalty. There's no point getting taken out by Loughborough if the penalty will be applied, and they don't get the position back. Sorry, I'm struggling with my English today.
Yeah,
it's Southampton A though. This is playing into their hands because I don't see that 8.3 second lead coming down now.
No,
Here come
I
the
agree.
leaders again. Letts and Thinkpenny again. Penalty for Oxford A. That is going to be for track limits.
Leeds Beckett A and Warwick A having a fantastic battle over 10th place at the moment. It's Alistair Irvine for Warwick, and for Leeds Beckett A in this one it's Matthew Arnold. They've been having a fantastic ding-dong for who can get into the top 10.
Team we haven't mentioned in this race and haven't really progressed through the field, Oxford Brookes A, currently down in 17th place. Now, yes, they've got 2 very good scores so far this morning, but this performance from Stephen Letts, I reckon, is at least going to give Huddersfield a third, a second and a second. And I'm going to question that third because I still wonder about that second race of the day, where here, at least in the box, we were told Cambridge A, who finished second in that race, had a penalty, hit a cone, overtook under yellow, so should have a penalty. That's a big penalty for Nottingham A as well. And I was told by someone in race control that it was going to be second place penalty for Cambridge as well. So let's just keep our eye on that one. There may be something that we don't know up here in Comms Box, or a change of decision. But at the moment, Huddersfield for the round looking really good.
I have to say, if you are at the circuit, we're not picking it up on the... As there's a black flag for Nottingham A.
Yep.
That's not what they wanted. What's that for? Bump and
2
pass.
times back, bump and pass.
Deary me again. Andrew, the teams that we know to be consistent, as there's a black flag for Coventry B.
Also 2 times bump and pass.
Oh, dearie me. That's not good stuff there. But the 2 teams, Brookes B and Nottingham A, is that a repeat showing of the black flag for Nottingham A, or is that an additional? That just came up again on screen.
Yeah, I think
that's just a repeat showing. Andrew, the teams who we've stylized, we characterise as consistent.
Someone's getting a telling off. Birmingham Hay. Penalty for track limits.
That's Andreas Goodsold.
That's not a surprise.
But yeah, he'd done well to come from the back though. He was having a good drive. So, Diego, we're watching this fantastic battle between us. There's a penalty for Brookes B and Matthew Taylor in 7th. That could be huge. What's that for?
Track limits.
Track limits, that's 10 seconds. And at the moment, that is a very expensive penalty to get, because that drops you back into the lower teens.
Well, we could properly write this round off for Oxford Brookes B now, but it means they're going to be under real pressure going into round 8.
We're watching on screen, by the way, a fantastic battle has been going for several laps. This is over 9th, 10th and 11th. This is between Jamie Henderson in the white helmet and suit combination for Northumbria A. Matthew Arnold.
It's just breezed past him.
Yeah, Matthew Arnold for Leeds Beckett A. He's breezed past him, Andrew, but they've been battling lap after lap, and here Henderson's going to try and get it back in the S's. And indeed he does just about. Alistair Irvine also goes around the outside of Matthew Arnold for 10th place in Warwick, and he's going to try the inside of the hairpin as well. Alistair Irvine's trying to go for 2 places, and also in on the mix here.
Look at the 54, it's Ed Bars. Is that Ed Bars? It is Ed Bars. What a move by Ed.
Fantastic battling going on in the lower part of the top 10.
Ed Bars, very experienced driver in this machinery. I'm going to be honest, I don't actually think he's eligible, which is a shame. No, he is. No, he is. That's interesting. But he's come from 30th on the grid, hasn't he?
Yeah.
A fantastic drive.
But yes, you were right about your point a moment ago, Andrew, about Brookes A. Okay, so they started from the back in this race. So this was the race that you would on balance, expect to be their dropped race for the round. However, surely the idea was for Jamie Zyra to come forward in the same way we've seen Stephen Letts do for Huddersfield A. And it just hasn't quite materialised that way. I mean, he's made it into the top 20. I couldn't do it. But for BUKC right now, they could have done with slightly better, I think. They are, as you say, sitting on 2 really good race results. The midfield here, Andrew, is just ridiculous.
Arnold challenging. It's
Arnold
run wide.
Henderson, so
yeah,
Arnold will get it back up the inside of the S's. The 54 is in this, isn't it? That's Ed Barr's for X to B.
It is.
And Alistair Irvin says to Irvin, let's work together. I'm not sure, with 2 minutes left of the race, if anyone's going to pay attention to a gesture of let's work together. Diego Martinez leads this one by 8.7 seconds. Stephen Letts has got back past Tom Thickpenny. We didn't see that one. But in the battle between Loughborough and Huddersfield, Huddersfield A have got back ahead. I'm trying to pick them up through the comms box window. Indeed, I can see now Joseph Jacks has got past Tom Thickpenny at the moment. Elliot Frost having a quiet race in 4th now for Leeds C. Benjamin Topless has had a good drive. He's in the Sheffield A car in 5th. Harry Taylor's still 6th for Manchester Metropolitan A. Matthew Taylor 7th on the road for Brooks B, but with a penalty to be applied. Abhishek Gautam having a good race for Bristol in 8th. Then it's, at the moment at least, Matthew Arnold in the Leeds Beckett A car in 9th. And Jamie Henderson for Northumbria A in 10th. But Exeter B and Warwick A knocking on the door of the top 10. We're looking now at Stephen Letts and Tom Thickpenny in Huddersfield A and Loughborough A's carts respectively, battling it out as we've got just over a minute to go here. Andrew, I barely look. I'm just seeing out the window that Diego... And up the inside, sorry. Thickpenny goes up the inside, but Letts is going to get him back surely on the exit of the corner. He's going to have to swing around the outside, though, to do it. Tom Thickpenny has the inside line, but Letts has kept it side by side, has the inside line for the right-hander. Brilliant battling again between these two. And that was a really nice bit of racing between these two again. Again, Andrew, we're seeing 2 of the serious teams in this Premier class giving us good racing. There's 2 carts off, though, down at turn number 2. Not sure what's happened here, but Andrew, I think it's time we started talking about the race leader, what with less than a minute to go. We've barely mentioned Diego Martinez this race. We're still watching this battle over second place. Hang on, is that... that's not Elliot Frost in amongst, is it?
No,
it's a car. But it's Tom Thickpenny. Oh, that's a very wide line. Doesn't give him an opportunity into the right-hander. Is there a penalty for Huddersfield? What's that?
No,
penalty for Huddersfield.
Stephen.
Track limits. Track limits penalty for Stephen Letts. Oh, goodness me. That's not what they wanted
and
at
he's
all.
got caught out by the back marker and has lost the position. Well, now. Well, we're going to have to see who's going to come out on top of those 2. But let's focus on Diego Martinez because he's coming round the exit of the horseshoe now, round the final couple of corners. We should be about to pick him up. There he is, round the final corner. What a drive from Diego Martinez. He's going to win at Clay Pigeon. He takes the win for Southampton. That is a very good start to his weekend. And now we wait to see who's going to finish, well, on the road at least. 2nd for Loughborough, 3rd for Huddersfield.
There he is on screen. There's your leader. Oh, your winner indeed. Diego Martinez. Who's that round at Horseshoe, Andrew? That's a Premier cart that's gone round on the final lap of the race. It's the number 49. That was towards the... That's Loughborough B. So, Tom Thickpenny finishes 2nd on the road for Loughborough A. Stephen Letts. It's the 2nd time this year, Andrew. A drive up through the field, but with a penalty in the end game of the race, which is just going to be expensive. Elliot Frost, great drive from him. 4th place for Leeds C, which I think will be a net 3rd. No, Loughborough A have the penalty as well for kart swap.
Yeah, but it's the likes of Leeds C, Sheffield A and Manchester Metropolitan that I reckon Huddersfield will drop into the clutches of.
Yeah.
Them, those drivers.
Anyway, as it finished on the road, Southampton A, Loughborough A, Huddersfield A, Leeds C, Sheffield A, Manchester Metropolitan A, Brooks B, Bristol A, Exeter B, Northumbria A, Leeds Beckett A, Warwick A. Fantastic battle between the last 4 teams that I mentioned, 5 teams even, in the latter part of the top 10. Nottingham Trent A 13th, 14th but with a penalty to be applied as Birmingham A. Brooks A, 15th in the end. Brunel A, Bath A, Loughborough C, UEA and Cranfield A round out your top 20.
Interesting race, that one. I think we're just about ready down on the grid to talk to Jacob. There he is in his lovely tallness. Yeah, thumbs up from his mum. Jacob, take it away. Get some thoughts for some drivers for us.
I'm always ready for you, Andrew. We haven't got the winners here yet. We are all going to be weighed. We'll try and grab a few of the key drivers there. Stephen Letts just approaching the scales. I'll grab a quick chat with him because a titanic battle with Tom Thickpenny for second and third there. Stephen, quick chat. Huge battle there with Tom from Loughborough. Did you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed it?
It was okay. I thought you had a penalty, so I wasn't too bothered, but yeah.
He did indeed have a penalty. I think you picked up a couple yourself, though.
Did I?
Right at the end there, yeah.
What, because of a back marker?
I think there was one track limit.
Don't remember this. It would help if the cart would turn, but that's just what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, all right, I'm going to go quickly grab Diego for the race winner. Thanks for talking to Stephen. Diego, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How does it feel to be a BUKC? This is your first win, is it?
I've finished second so many times. Yeah, it feels really good.
And a strong gap as well, nearly 10 seconds back to some really quick drivers. Tom Thickpenny, Stephen Letts. Really good drive.
I was lucky at the beginning because someone spun when he went off and then I could open the gap. But yeah, it was pretty good.
I've been asking everyone today, but I'm not sure I even need to ask you. Is there going to be a strong Southampton showing at the party later?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right, I look forward to having a drink with you later.
Okay.
Thanks for chatting to us. Diego there of Southampton. First win for him, and like you said, it has been coming for a while. Plenty of second place finishes, but he did really well there to fend off both Stephen Letts and Tom Thickpenny. When I say fend off, to really keep that gap out to 10 seconds is a very, very strong drive. We're going to grab Sam Nash, I think, when he comes off the scales. He's currently third in line. We've also got Jamie here. Jamie will come and chat to us as well, even though he didn't have the best races. Jamie, what happened there, mate?
Just a really bad car.
Sorry, you get to drop a race.
Yeah, we do get to drop one, so we've had two good ones and my bad one. So.
Looking good for Brooks so far, though.
Yeah, so see what Kyle can do from last race.
We haven't seen Jack yet on track, have we, for the
No,
Bees?
he's in the last race as well, yeah.
Okay, so there might be a bit of comeback from them.
Kyle and Jack, yeah.
That sounds like a good race.
Yeah, it will be.
Cheers, Jamie. Who else have we got lining up here? Again on the scales. I'm just going to go see if anyone's been crossed off. No, they haven't. I think we're all right. Ben Topless, who I spoke to on the grid. Ben, did you win? No, I didn't. Tell you what. There's a bit of issue with Ben's weight. This is embarrassing if we stream him and he gets disqualified. Ben Topless, disqualified for being half a kilo underweight. Ben, come and talk to us about this. How could you?
Huh?
How could you?
I thought I was on the weight. That's so annoying. I think I came fifth on the road.
Have you got any messages of perhaps advice for young children who might be watching this, wondering if they can get away with being underweight?
Make sure you get all the lead on your carts, kids.
Ben, go hang your head in shame. Ben Topless there. The first driver I think we've ever streamed being disqualified for being underweight. He did not want to talk to me at all. Never mind. It's all part of the fun here at the BUKC. 4 drivers left to go over the scales. Matt Arnold, last but not least. Oh, no, so, Tom Thickpenny's just come in behind him. We'll have a chat with Tom. Tom insists on no grid interviews, but we'll have one after the race because that was a very good drive, I will admit. Matt Arnold, second to last, up there. Cheeky smile from me as well. He's all right. He's weighed up. And Tom's all right as well. Tom, solid battle there between you and Mr. Letts. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was obviously Huddersfield. Huddersfield are one of our main rivals, so I knew it was important to get him, but I've just heard I got a 5-place penalty for changing a cart.
Yes. Problems in the warm-up?
Well, to me it felt like I had a flat tyre, and I obviously crashed on the hairpin down there, and I did a couple of laps. I found it undrivable, so came and had a conversation and changed it, but obviously they deemed it was drivable. So I'm gonna speak to them, but yeah.
It's bad luck, you know. To be honest, at least you've got the talent to be able to notice. I wouldn't have a clue. I'd just drive around. So
he's got a bright suit, so I wanted to get him. But
it's still a good race.
Yeah, it was a really good race. Embarrassing warm-up lap, but after that I think it was okay. So.
How's Loughborough's day looking so far?
We've had a 10th, and well, that was meant to be a 2nd, but it's a 7th. So I think we're probably out of even the top 3 maybe now, but we'll see.
I reckon you can recover it in the Enduros.
We're normally pretty good in Enduros, so I'm disappointed we don't get a podium today. So yeah.
Brilliant. Tom, thanks for talking to us.
Okay, thank you, no problem.
Tom Thickpenny of Loughborough A, our reigning champions. Walking past me is Henry Jackson, giving me the eyes. He's got his suit on. I haven't seen him out today, but I'm sure we'll find him when he is. Neil Vincent has popped up, hovering over there. Our winner of race number 2. He promised to come find me, and here we are. Winner of race number 2, Neil Vincent of Coventry. Coventry not doing so well in the championship this year, but Neil, the shining star. Tell us about your race, Neil.
Yeah, obviously went from pole, so led it early on, built a bit of a gap. Luckily, I beat him, got binned, and then I was lapping him at about 5 laps in, and then he started holding people up behind me, so I got a bit of a gap there. And then who was it behind me, Cambridge? I think it was Cambridge.
Yes, it's Sam of Cambridge, yeah. Sam Massey, I think.
So I think with about 15 minutes to go, he was behind me, and I was thinking, oh, how am I going to defend for 15 minutes? But luckily, I got through the traffic and kept my cool. Got to the end. I think I just got over the line by 0.06. I started celebrating down here. I didn't realise he was catching, but that would have made a fool of myself, wouldn't I?
Yeah, a bit of a questionable moral viewpoint there on using the B team to slow up your rivals. Any guilty conscience, Neil?
No, it wasn't deliberate. It just he fell into the right place, didn't he, at the right time by getting binned. So yeah,
there's no hand signal. If I watch the stream back, there'll be nothing like that.
No, I was already blocked me because he didn't see me at first, but luckily he saw me and got through nice and easily.
All right, I'll let you off then. When you're back out this afternoon?
I'll be doing Endurance 1 with Ryan. I think I'm starting, and we're starting 8th, so hopefully we can have another good race there.
Right, and you out Sunday?
Sunday? Oh, for the drivers? No, Ryan is, and George and Nikita from the team, but I'm not. No.
What's your excuse?
Well, obviously me and Ollie would have had to do it because we travel together, don't we, from Luton? So Ollie's not doing it. I wasn't really that keen. If it was Wilton, I'd be really keen because I love Wilton, but yeah.
We'll have no bad talking of the track here at Clay Pigeon. All right, so does that mean I can see you at the party tonight then?
Yeah, I should be there, so as always.
Lovely. I'll let you buy me a drink.
We'll see.
Here's Neil. Neil Vincent, winner of race number 2. Right. Race number 5 is preparing to send off. Should we try and get on the grid, James? Do you reckon? That face doesn't fill me with encouragement. Shall I grab someone and bring them back? Who knows? Try and pick out some choice faces. Let's just chat to the Newcastle guys, I guess. In fact, come have a quick chat with me over here. So we're struggling for signal on here, but it's your last BUKC race weekend.
Yeah, it is.
Are you out Sunday as well?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a drivers' championship, so we're gonna.
Can we expect to see your BUKC career finish with a bang?
I hope not, but yes. Yeah, we're gonna make it good.
Well, when I say bang, I don't mean like a bang from behind and punting you off. I mean like a win or something.
Yeah, that's been happening to me like the past few sprint races. So hopefully keep it clean and we're gonna have a bit of fun. Yeah.
That was one of the most dramatic starts of the year at Wilton when you got punted off at the first corner. Still salty about that?
Oh yeah, big time. Swansea still owe me a crate of beer, so I'm expecting that by the endurance this afternoon. And
after the endurance this afternoon.
Oh yeah, sorry, after the endurance.
For the red in time for the party.
Oh yeah, definitely. You joining me at the after streak?
Yes, I'm out all night. I won't sleep.
Yeah, we're in the field over there, so if you come by, get the barbie going.
Which tent's yours?
Oh, do you want to join me in the tent?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Play your cards, right?
Yeah, it'll be good.
I've had a few invites, but you know.
Yeah. Well, bring all your mates around, and we're gonna have a good time. Okay, we can play soggy balaclava. Oh
Yeah.
Live stream?
We're live, yeah.
Oh God.
For those of you who don't know what soggy balaclava is, you just dip a balaclava in a puddle and then someone has to wear it all night if you lose rock, paper, scissors. Yeah. Fun game for all the family. In behind you guys, we've got Team Nottingham. Who have we got going out? Nottingham? Is it Nottingham? It is Nottingham, isn't it? Who have we got going out?
Chris Griswood.
Chris.
First time in the A-team.
First time in the A-team? What have they been missing?
Quite a lot. Well, they're missing Seddon this week. That's the problem.
Oh, I see.
Missing results as well.
But
So
what have they been missing not having you?
probably not much, to be fair.
No?
Nah.
No quality overtakes?
Yeah, done all right this year, but...
You're getting off. You should probably get in. I keep doing that today. Right. Commentators are in my ear saying they're ready. I'm not ready to hand over to you, Andrew. So you can wait a minute. You know, twiddle your thumbs, entertain yourselves. Howard, Andrew, chat amongst yourselves. Just, you know, I'm not going to send over to you. I'm just going to talk for a bit longer. Never mind. Yeah, go on. You have it. That's enough teasing for one day.
Oh, are we on? Ah, hello. Where's the camera?
Yeah, you can wave at me all you like, Howard.
Wave like crazy. I didn't realise we were on the stream. Hello, that was us, sat down in the comms box, furiously checking the results, because obviously it's rather critical that we call this right today. Although I'm going to say this word for the first time today, all results that we say are going to, of course, be provisional.
Mr. Mather does not like ineligible drivers.
Mr. Mather still doesn't like ineligible drivers. Whilst he puts the finishing touches to the race result for 4, he also doesn't like loads of penalties as well, by the way. Let's take you through the grid then for sprint race, as there's all sorts of spinners at turn 2. There's 3 karts at the moment, and someone else spun as well. I'll assume there's nothing on the circuit there. Anyway, race 5 of round 7 is going to have Jack Fisher of Lead C take the pole position. Jack O'Toole will be alongside in Aston B's effort. Row 2 will be Nottingham B with Steve Smithers at the wheel and Loughborough B with Matthew Ryder at the wheel. Row 3 sees Leeds A's Robert Starley start 5th and Harry Farnell start 6th in the UWTSD Swansea kart. Southampton B's Kirk Langley and Oxford A's Tom Grunshaw makes up the 4th row of the grid, and then it's Callum Brule of Cranfield A and Curtis Granger of Oxford Brooks D to round out the top 10. Row 6 will be Zach Nixon in the number 15 Southampton A kart, and then it will be Adam Pugh of Swansea A in 12th. Row 7 is Matthew Allington of Bath B and William Rattenbury going out for Swansea C. Jonathan Collins starts 15th for Cambridge A, and Jake O'Sullivan starts 16th for Birmingham B. Row 9 will see Andrew Marshall start for Nottingham Trent A, and Dan Ajet starting for Brunel B. Hint, that's Drone Man Dan making, is it his mains debut? I think it is. Good luck to you, Drone Man Dan. Out in the number 27, starting 18th. Rounding out the top 20 is Pavlos Massos for Brighton and Ollie Milner for Huddersfield A. Row 11 of the grid sees Suzanne Goodsold start for Aston A and Sam Tierney start for Huddersfield B. Row 12 is Alistair Mallard for Exeter A and Lewis Bracewell for Brooks C. Row 13, Liam Emberton for Birmingham C and William Wren for Warwick B. Row 14, Nikita Malyakov for Coventry B and Sam Wrighton for Kingston A. Rounding out the top 30 is Jack Cave Brown Cave for King's College A and Aaron Foster for Newcastle B. Row 16 of the grid, Sean Arnold for Nottingham C and Chris Gristwood for Nottingham A. Row 17, Joe Davidson for Bath A and Valerie Novikov for Bristol A. And then rounding out the 18 row, 36 kart grid, Ian Hodgkiss for Northumbria B and Matas Grigolauskas for Coventry. That's your grid for race number 5 of round 7 of the 2018 British Universities Karting Championship. Live video coverage brought to you courtesy of Alpha Live Productions with commentary provided by Double Dash Motorsport Media, aka myself, Howard Mitchell, alongside Andrew Mather in the commentary box. Oh, I almost nailed it. The commentary box. Oh dear me. Right. We've seen some absolutely amazing racing so far today. I think it's been one of the best rounds of the championship. And may I just highlight, whilst we have seen a few incidents, it's been a bit cleaner today. A bit cleaner today. And that's been a positive thing to see. We do say that tentatively, but hopefully we can have a really good finish to this round.
So
Andrew.
Championship-wise, just want to get it in before we start. What we're looking at here is Huddersfield A, the only one of the big five in this race. They finished their round 7 with this race, starting from P20. The key for them, get a good result, get the clubhouse lead before we go into race 6.
Nottingham A in this race as well.
They may well be, but they're done in this round.
Okay.
They're not going to do anything. Apologies.
Fair enough. Ollie Milner starting 20th for Huddersfield A. And Chris Gristwood is starting for Nottingham A. He is quite far back on the grid. So, in many respects, from a Premier Class Championship point of view at least, there's not too many key people at the front of this one. So we can focus on Jack Fisher will lead them away as we're ready for a start then. Eyes to the lights, engine notes rise, and we're away for race number 5. Jack Fisher leading them away in the lead C kart. Looks like a pretty even start from both sides of the grid, but it's not clean through turn 2. There's a couple of karts off there in the mid-pack. The start will be called good. Everybody okay in recovering their karts though. It's Jack Fisher though leading them away in the number 60. Aston B being challenged though by Nottingham B, and the number 49 of Loughborough B's in there as well. We've got drivers off at hairpin. There's 3 drivers off at the hairpin.
32's off.
Yeah, as well. So it's not been the cleanest start here.
I kept my eyes on the number 6 though. Crucially, Ollie Milner. The incident actually happened a couple of rows in front of him, but he got through.
End of lap 1. Leeds C, Aston B, Loughborough B, Nottingham B. Leeds A, UWTSD Swansea, Southampton B, Bath B, Cranfield A and Cambridge A. Round out your top 10. Involved in incidents and accidents, Southampton A, Swansea A, Swansea C, Brunel B, Kingston A, Coventry B, Newcastle B and Northumbria B were all involved in what was not the cleanest of first laps, although it has to be said marginally cleaner than the previous race where we saw every man and his dog trying to go off in the first corner.
36 is in trouble.
Yeah, Kingston 36 is clearly having some kind of kart problem there and struggling for drive up the slight upward incline.
Is he he's a lap behind and he's just getting out of the way.
Really good driving then in that case. Fair play that man, the number 36. That's Sam Wrighton. Good driving from him.
Oh, what's going on here? The 27's getting properly in the way of the leaders. That was some interesting driving.
Jack O'Toole has got to the front, has he not?
He
for
has
Aston
indeed.
B. So it's now Jack O'Toole, and the 49 of Loughborough B has come to second place now. That's Matthew Ryder past Jack Fisher for second place. So there's Jack O'Toole in the distinctive matte grey and white helmet there, and he's being challenged by Ryder in the 49 Loughborough B. It's Loughborough B to the front, and Fisher's going to try and follow through here for second. Fisher and O'Toole side by side over second place. Loughborough B are confirmed as the new leaders of the race, but O'Toole holds on to second place and tries to get the cut back through turn 2 on Matthew Ryder and gets it done. But was that under yellows, Andrew?
Might well have been.
Yellows on the S's. I think that one,
the number 40 of Sean Arnold, I think it is, was being recovered there.
it was obscured for me by one of the, basically by the window frame of the comms box. So I'm not sure there whether that was under yellows. Keep your eyes peeled on the penalty board.
But here we go then. 49 hits the front. Coming out there, sorry, 70 hits the front. Apologies. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to keep an eye on drivers coming through the field because there's some big names on circuit coming flying through, including Callum Brewell for Cranfield, Ollie Milner for Huddersfield. Let's watch out for them. There's a lot of drivers having spins in this race, but it's 70 from 49, 50, 60, 22, 26.
Black flag for Birmingham C and Liam Emberton for advantage by contact.
Oh, someone's had a huge off down at the
that's the
hairpin.
pusher cart.
No. Look what's with the pusher
me.
cart.
Oh, goodness me. Trying to drag it out from the tyres. Andrew, that's a big hit.
Yeah, been there, done that, got the T-shirt. Never nice to have an off into the tyres down there. Driver looks okay. Just getting a bit of help from the pusher kart driver to get that back on circuit.
Okay, driver does look to be okay, as you say. Jack O'Toole leads this in the number 70 as there's a penalty for Aston
Penalty
B.
for the leader.
Yes.
And up the inside goes the 49. Loughborough B take the lead again.
Matthew Ryder to the front then. Yeah, it's bumping past the Aston B car. So is he involved in what happened at the hairpin potentially?
Well,
on your screen now, the 49 and Matthew Ryder in the Loughborough B car. Then it's Jack O'Toole in the Aston B car. Then on the road is the number 50 Brooks D car. But he is in fact a lap down. And it's the number 60 of Leeds C, our former pole sitter, who runs third on the road. Then it's the 22 of Nottingham B, which is Steve Smithers at the wheel of that one. And then it's the 26 of Leeds A, which is Robert Starley.
Interesting one, this. We've got disruptors, proper disruptors at the front of the field. The battle for second going on, 60 and 70 getting into one another. Great bit of driving. The switchback there from the number 50, which is Oxford Brooks D, I think.
They're a lap down.
They are a lap down.
As is the Kingston car, the 36.
Meanwhile, all behind this, you've still got Cambridge there, the number 9, sorry, in 7th place. And Huddersfield A are just a little bit further off this pack, but crucially, Ollie Milner has got through. There's almost 2 packs of traffic here. You've got the front pack, which is kind of the top 10, and then you've got the second pack, which goes down to about 19th position. Huddersfield A have now broken through that gap. And also usefully, they've got friends up front as well, as Nottingham Trent A have slipped down the order a long way, so they've had some kind of incident on that last lap. The driver down, in fact that's another one, that's another driver off down.
That's identical.
The hairpin, that's Trent, and that's Nottingham Trent. So what a shame for Nottingham Trent. They're out of this one. Pusher kart driver does brilliantly to flip it round and get Nottingham Trent going again, but that's two crashes in quick succession as the 70 chops across the 61. I'm getting a little bit worried here, Howard. There's a lot of really aggressive driving at the front end of the field.
Absolutely, I think it's fair to say a lot of these drivers not necessarily experienced at being at the sharp end of the race. And a lot of intermediate teams in the top 10 as the tyre barriers get repaired at the hairpin.
So 6 minutes gone then. Loughborough B lead, Aston B second, but they've got a penalty. Leeds C, who won the last race, are in third. Cambridge A now up to fourth. University of Wales, Trinity St David's, Swansea fifth. So that's your top 5. Looking a little bit further back, Nottingham B sixth, Leeds A seventh, Huddersfield A now up to 8th place, and closing in on the pack in front of them, Oxford Brooks C 9th, Huddersfield B 10th, and just to round up the championship, looking at the championship, I'm looking for Nottingham A, and I can't find them on timing because they're 12th. They're 12th, so they're not far off the top 10.
It's a really good effort from the back of the grid, I think.
It's a very good effort indeed. Here's your battle then for the lead. In fact, is that a change? No, this is just a battle for second. Sorry. Just as my eyes came back to the screen, you can see Sean Arnold there in the red and white Burlart suit, the number 40. He's a lap down. And I'm just going to see exactly where he is. Yes, that's for the Nottingham C kart in 28th. I'm actually going to look at that. I think that is that's Matthew Arnold, who's ineligible for this race, I should say. Sorry, Sean Arnold. Matthew's his brother who races for Leeds.
Penalty for Aston A, Andrew. Running in 16th place.
Yeah. And that's in that second group of cars. Oh, huge off. There's a big off down towards the back end of the field. There's 3 drivers off. I think it is Zach Nixon who's walking but looks a bit winded. The 36 is off as well.
Oh, goodness me. And further down, yeah.
And the 20, Jake O'Sullivan's involved. And there's 2. What is going on here?
There's 2 off at hairpin, yeah. Into the barriers.
Now, I've seen drivers have this before, where they come off the chicane and there's just nowhere to go and they get ploughed into. But what on earth has happened to those 2 drivers at the bottom end of the order? I think the 5's involved. Well, no, the 5's just popped up. The 27's involved.
So Zach Nixon walked away from the kart. Where is?
And he's just sat down behind this yellow box thing that's in front of us in comms.
Yeah,
His circuit's off to driver's right.
Carts have been recovered from the 27 was involved in the incident down at the hairpin.
It's Brunel B. Southampton A, as you can see on timing, have now fallen down the order. Well, we'll just hope that Zach Nixon is okay. He did walk away from the carts, but he looked a bit winded. Anyway, leader is fighting with Sean Arnold in the number 40, who's ineligible. Here's the 60 and 43. So the 60 in second place, the 43 is a lap down at least.
So Brunel B were involved in that, Andrew, as were Newcastle B.
And Birmingham B, who've gone into the pits. I think they've got damage to the cart.
Yeah, and Southampton A and Kingston was the other one we saw involved with 36.
So Loughborough B lead by 2.8 seconds from lead C. Cambridge A third, continuing to have their strong day.
Zach Nixon's emerged from behind.
Zach Nixon
looks like he's got some kind of ankle issue. He's not very confident on his legs, is he?
Yeah.
Just having a sit down with the marshals.
He's taken his helmet off.
A red flag. Red
flag, and that's the right decision. That is the right decision.
As the medical car's coming out onto the track immediately after the red flag flown.
Zach is, well, he walked away from the accident. He doesn't seem to be in too much discomfort. You can see on his face he's smiling. That's something.
That's good to see, yeah.
Apologies, folks, we didn't see the incident ourselves. Medical car is now with Zach.
So this is the red flag procedure.
Let's go through the order as it was at the red flag. So it was Loughborough B from lead C, Cambridge A, University of Wales Trinity St David's Swansea in 4th, Aston B 5th, but we know they've got a penalty, Nottingham B 6th, then Huddersfield A 7th, Oxford Brook C 8th, 9th for Leeds A, Huddersfield B 10th. Medic car's actually going to have to go around the circuit because it's on the wrong side of the circuit now to get to Zach Nixon. He's on the start-finish side of the race to us now, but he's looking okay. I think it might, at worst, I say at worst, it's probably not comforting for his folks at home. A twisted ankle or something like that, but he's awake. He's walked on it. In the grand scheme of things, he's all right. Let's carry on with the order. Leeds A were 9th, Huddersfield B were 10th, Nottingham A were 11th, Warwick B were 12th, Cranfield A were 13th, Southampton B were 14th, Aston A were 15th, Exeter A 16th, Bath A and Bath B 17th and 18th, 19th for Bristol A, King's College A were 20th, 21st were Coventry A, 22nd for Oxford A, 23rd for Swansea A, 24th Coventry B, 25th Brighton, Oxford Brooks D were 26th, 27th for Nottingham C, 28th for Swansea C, 29th for Northumbria B, Nottingham Trent A 30th, 31st for Birmingham C, 32nd for Newcastle B, 33rd for Birmingham B, 34th for Brunel B, 35th were Southampton A. Zach Nixon is now in the back of the medical vehicle with assistance. He was able to hobble into the medical car. And then 36th were Kingston A. So if you're just joining us, we're under red flag here to be able to treat an injured driver, not seriously injured, but injured nonetheless, needing assistance to walk back to the paddock.
And this is, you'll see the drivers have observed the standard red flag procedure, which is to stop in single file. You can't see it on camera, but you'll see it a few months ago. We were showing it on camera. The drivers stopped in single file on the grid. That's so that if a medical vehicle does need to get by them, we were talking about how the medical vehicle needed to go around the lap, although he actually, being the medical vehicle under red flag, was able to go around the opposite direction around the lap to get to Zach Nixon. But if necessary, the vehicles can get through because the carts are in single file. So, assuming this, the race stewards are happy, or the clerk of the course is happy, there's some sweeping up going on, Andrew, on the back straight now.
Yeah, there was a lot of water on
was.
that exit of the chicane
Yeah.
this morning, and the 3 or 4 carts that were off in that region,
Yeah.
it's pulled some of that water onto the circuit.
we saw
So the
the
marshals just taking care of that now.
We saw the Kingston cart steaming after the incident,
Yes.
which suggests that there was a sizable amount of water being brought on, and coming off of that incident. But assuming that the clerk of the course is happy, we'd be looking to get this race resumed. I actually think, Andrew, in some ways, I say this carefully, this will give a chance for some pause for those at the front of this field, because it was beginning to get a little bit Larry. Well, obviously it got Larry in one sense, but we had a red flag incident, but it was not the only incident out there.
Nope, well put, mate. I did say it was getting a bit too aggressive, and it's a bit of a reminder that whilst the safety, as we've had another incident, the marshal's broom is broken in half down the back straight. That's a little bit unfortunate. An incident like that reminds us the safety progressions that we've had in recent years in motorsport are good, but motorsport is still dangerous, and accidents happen. I know this myself. Last time I stood in this commentary box, I was in plaster 2 years ago after a similar looking incident in terms of aftermath to what we saw there. Accidents do happen, but sometimes the accidents can be avoidable. We didn't see the incident. I'm not going to say whether that accident was avoidable or not. We didn't see it, but there was definitely some driving out there that it wasn't necessary. So hopefully, with 15 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock, we will have drivers just engage a few more brain cells. The first 3 races were good. Race 4 was okay, a little bit too aggressive, but 5 was a step too far. We hope Zach's okay. I'm sure he will be, but it's a warning to the other drivers. Engage a brain cell.
So, hopefully we'll be looking to resume this race soon. Still 15 minutes on the clock, as you can see there on the start gantry there. 15 minutes and 17 seconds. I actually have it as 15 minutes and 13 seconds, but what's 4 seconds between friends? In motorsport, quite a bit. Drivers able to interact with their teams during this period, so the grid now, save for the fact that the karts are in single file, now looking pretty similar to just before a standard race start. It was Loughborough B, as Andrew was saying, leading that one at the close of the race. That was Matthew Ryder. And then Jack Fisher in the Leeds C car. And Andrew, it was Leeds C who had their really good result in the previous race, was it not? It was Elliot Frost.
It was indeed.
So Leeds C having a really good day at the races at the moment. It has to be said. So good driving from them. Nottingham A, we mentioned, had done a good job getting from the back of the grid up to 11th. Huddersfield A, likewise, from 20th up to 7th in the first pretty much 10 minutes of the race. But as we were saying, that did come courtesy of quite a few offs in that race. All of the drivers involved in that incident seem to have been fine. That was Kingston A, Brunel B, Birmingham B, and I believe it was Newcastle B.
I think they were involved down at the hairpin.
Yeah, so I think it was Newcastle B and Brunel B were down at the hairpin, and then it was Birmingham B, Southampton A and Kingston A who were involved in the incident earlier in the lap at the S's. High-speed part of the track, of course. This is the fastest circuit that we visit on the calendar. Still with really good overtaking opportunities, but obviously still, therefore, with the potential for more high-speed incidents. Bluntly, it is a risk here. Not the first red flag we've seen here in the BUKC. When we visit generally in the modern era every 2 years in the BUKC. Some of you might remember 4 years ago when we were here and we had the very, very thick fog on, not so much on the Friday actually, that was okay, but on the Saturday and the Sunday for the rookies and the drivers and graduates championships, those were very challenging conditions. Thick, dense fog. I was competing, in fact both of us were competing that weekend. I can remember just braking for turn 1, and quite honestly, you'd brake for turn 1, so brake for turn 2. You braked because you knew that was where you should brake. Difficult to describe how I knew that was where you brake, but I couldn't see the apex of the corner when I started braking. It was honestly some of the thickest fog certainly I've ever come across in my life.
I
Red
got
flags.
lost.
You got lost. You attempted to do a day trip to Yeovil, I think, up the road. You know, it was interesting actually because they did red flag a race for the fog, and as the call goes up for drivers to return their car, just to finish the story, they red flagged one of the races that I was in. It actually took a long time for the red flag to come into effect. They red flagged it because the marshals began to realise they couldn't see post to post and were struggling to see the cars. It took a while for the red flag to come into effect because we couldn't see the red flags. And
yes.
That was, you know, and obviously therefore the right call, because if some of us are seeing a red flag and others aren't, there you've got the risk of very high closing speeds. Already though, as you can see, our leader being bump started. Difficult psychologically for the drivers here in many ways. You've got to keep yourself obviously on the ball, ready to go for this. And it's not something mentally that you're quite ready for, I find. You know, you're sort of, obviously you're having a big adrenaline rush during the racing, and then suddenly you come to a stop, it all calms down, you get a chance to talk to people, which is a bit of, you're sort of, oh yeah, I was in the zone. And then you've got to get started again, and particularly I think if the red flag occurs in the earlier half of the race, it feels a bit odd to still have most of the race to go. Particularly for some of our drivers at the front of this field who aren't so experienced at being at the front of the race, maybe, you know, we've still got a lot of intermediate class teams in the top 10. It's an interesting time for them mentally as they prepare for this restart. So the leaders have now come onto the crown of the circuit, which is where they will now move continuously until the field have formed up. We will go, as far as I'm aware, for a conventional restart, which will see us. It is a 4.2 by 2 restart.
I think so. As opposed to it's a while since we've done this.
It is a while since we do. I'm trying to remember actually. They don't circle the crown. They do in fact go onto a full lead lap. I'm not sure it is actually. I think it might be a single file start, safety car start styling. Although mind you, Formula One's thinking of changing that at the moment as well.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Or indeed have changed it. So, Matthew Ryder is going to lead this restart for Loughborough B. And then it's Jack Fisher, our former pole sitter, in the lead C kart. Cambridge A are in third with Jonathan Collins. I seem to recall Collins had a good drive at Hooton, actually. He certainly had one drive this year where I remember praising him for his drive towards the front. UWTSD Swans is for Harry Farnham in fourth. Fifth is Aston B with Jack O'Toole at the wheel.
And we're racing.
We are racing, begging their pardon, I'm very sorry. The pusher car pulls to one side and the restart's going. It was a single file safety car style restart. And right away, actually it's confused by the fact that the Brooks D kart's in there in the number 50. So it's Loughborough B with Oxford Brooks D a lap down, separating him from lead C. So that helped actually the Loughborough B car. That helped Matthew Ryder there to have Brooks D there. I don't say this very often. Brooks D serving as a rear gunner to Loughborough.
Oxford Brook C trying to do a bit of a job here. They're fighting with Huddersfield A. Now we know Huddersfield A are having a really good day, and if it's one of the non-Brooks teams to win the championship at the moment, it's looking like Huddersfield. They're side by side. Ollie Milner lets Oxford Brook C go, and I think that's quite wise.
Change for the lead, Andrew. Brooks D unlapped themselves, and Fisher followed through. Jack Fisher followed through for lead C, so he now comes back to the head of the field in the 60. The number 50 there is a lap down. I'm just trying to find out who is in that one. It's Curtis Granger. So Curtis Granger is in the 50. He's a lap down, but Jack Fisher to the front in the number 60 lead C kart. And then it's the 49. So now there's a battle for position because they've now got back past Curtis Granger.
Oh, spin!
Spin for the leader! Oh, from the lead of the race goes Jack Fisher in the lead C kart. Oh, that's every driver's worst nightmare. And I saw no contact there. I think that was a true unforced error, spinning out from the lead of the race. Goodness gracious me. Matthew Ryder back to the front then for Loughborough B, excuse me. And then it'll be Jonathan Collins in second place for Cambridge A. UWTST Swansea up to third with Harry Farnhill at the wheel. Oh, dearie me. Exactly what, as I say, every driver's worst nightmare. Jack Fisher now up to speed again and dropping down the order.
So Loughborough B lead then. University of Wales, Trinity St David as the 27 is slow down the pit straight. I think he's just letting drivers by who are a lap ahead of him. The 50 is a lap down, of course. There's the number 9 Cambridge, who are continuing to have this really, really good day.
Jonathan Collins
it is Jonathan Collins, who had a good run at Hooton Park 2 weekends ago. I'm just keeping an eye on Huddersfield. Oh, it's around at the... Oh, well avoided by the 63. There was a drive. It's one of the premiers round.
It is. I'll keep eyes on that.
Yeah, thank you, mate. But the 63 did a brilliant job to avoid the number 14 who had the spin. That's Coventry A. They were in the midfield. So Coventry A having a spin down at the horseshoe.
It was Matas Grigalauskas from the back of the grid. He was running well and worked his way up the field.
But no, Huddersfield A currently in 9th place and not moving forward. Penalty for the Huddersfield B kart, who are 4th.
Yeah, that's expensive for them. Bump and pass.
Well, that actually helps their teammates.
It does, yes. That's Sam Tierney in that Huddersfield B kart. So, yeah, not the recommended way to help out your sister team, but it has that effect.
Now, at least for Huddersfield A, they're in such a position that
these leaders. This is Curtis Granger. So it was a difficult situation coming into the horseshoe. There were people on effectively 3 different laps. In fact, it may even have been for position between the Nottingham C car and the Brooks D car. In fact, it is. It is. They are battling over 26th place. So, yeah, it's a complex situation out there, definitely.
I understand letting drivers back through when you think you're going to get a penalty, but when you're ineligible and it literally matters diddly squat, just get on with it.
I know what you mean.
Penalty for the number 3.
There is a sort of instinctive thing that comes in to avoid penalties, of course, or one likes to think there is. There have been times to see some questions.
But what does it matter? He's ineligible. He's not going to score any points.
We're in the last 5 minutes of this race, by the way. I think we may have had
yellow flag down at turn 1, 2 karts off.
We may have had a time adjustment to the race in light of the red flag. It's not unusual. Matthew Ryder leads this one in the Loughborough B kart. Then to the Loughborough B being the number 49 to look out for on your screen. Jonathan Collins in the number 9 Cambridge A kart is in second, but as you can see, he's under all sorts of pressure here from Sam Tierney in the 21 Huddersfield B kart, who does have a 10-second penalty to be applied post-race. Then comes the number 13 of UWTST Swansea with Harry Farnhill at the wheel. Then it's Nottingham B in the 22, then Brooks C in the 3 and 6th. Callum Brewell's had a good race so far. He's up to 7th in the number 72 Cranfield A kart. Nottingham A have just got past Aston B for 8th. and then Exeter A round out your top 10. Huddersfield watch, they're in 11th at the moment.
3 minutes to go then in this one. Huddersfield A are now down to 11th place, so they're not going to be improving their score in the clubhouse of 175. Nottingham A, they're in 8th, but they've already had 2 bad races, so I reckon this round is going to end up as a dropped score for them. Lead now 1.2 seconds. Collins closing in on the Loughborough B driver. In fact, is that no, that's the Oxford Brooks D car that's a lap down and challenging the 49. But this is helping the number 9. 2 minutes and 44 on the clock. There is Jonathan Collins. He's closing in on the leader, which
he still has Curtis Granger in the way, though.
Still, yeah, correct. As Huddersfield B. Huddersfield B actually being helped along by Huddersfield University's Sean Arnold racing for Nottingham C inillegibly. So I understand that bit of tactics. Callum Brewell's having a good race as well for Cranfield A. Oxford Brooks C have just made a move, I think on a back marker, but we know they've got a penalty. But,
2 minutes.
Sorry,
2 minutes to go. Sorry, Andrew. 2 minutes to go in this one then, and it's been an odd one. But Matthew Ryder, at the moment, he's sort of got, as I say, you don't often say this, but Oxford Brooks currently acting as an inadvertent rear gunner, effectively, for the Loughborough cart, with Loughborough B leading and Oxford Brooks D actually down in about 24th place. Excuse me. And if Jonathan Collins can't get past Curtis Granger in the Brooks D kart, as it stands at the moment, he can't challenge Matthew Ryder in the Loughborough B kart. There's the 21 and the 40. They're not battling for position either. So we've actually got back markers separating out the battles in the top 10. Although, as I say that, Harry Farnhill for UWTST Swansea has just got past the number 40s. There's a black flag for Aston A. That's for ABC. So, okay, we've got a battle on now for 3rd place between the 21 of Huddersfield B and the 13 of UWTST Swansea. This is the lead battle, but as I say, Curtis Gray, no, as I say that, Jonathan Collins tries up the inside, he's got the job done. So, Cambridge get through. I reckon they're going to have the rest of this lap and another one to see if he can get on terms with Matthew Ryder in the Loughborough B car. There is a battle on here. Meanwhile, the number 40 Nottingham C car has got back past UWTST Swansea, so the battle for 3rd is also being denied by back markers running on pace.
This is quite crucial. I've just realised who we've not seen yet for Cambridge today. Richard Morris. Richard Morris has a history of wins at Clay Pigeon. You could be seeing on this lap Jonathan Collins lining Cambridge, number 9, who have had a really tough season, for a round win going into the final race. This is sensational.
Intermediate class team, remember?
Yep.
Back markers coming into play though. Matthew Ryder looks like he's going to hold on to it here, and I think that may be the end of Jonathan Collins' charge there. He's not under pressure from anyone immediately behind him. So, amid incidents and accidents, Matthew Ryder is going to come through to win race number 5 of round 7 for Loughborough B. He crosses the line to take the win. It's a win for Loughborough B. Cambridge A a 2nd, Huddersfield B 3rd, UWTST Swansea come home in 4th, Nottingham B 5th, Brooks C 6th, Cranfield A 7th, Nottingham A finish 8th, Exeter A 9th, Southampton B 10th. The charge through the field for Huddersfield A, well, I say charge through the field, from 20th place Ollie Milner finishes 11th, Aston B 12th, Bath A 13th, 14th for Leeds A, Warwick B 15th, 16th Swansea A, 17th Bath B, Bristol A, King's College A and Coventry B round out your top 20. Then it's Coventry A and Brighton. 23rd is Brooks D, who got probably the largest amount of screen time for any kart that's finished 23rd this year, running in amongst the leaders a lap down. Aston A 24th, Nottingham C 25th, Northumbria B 26th, 27th Oxford A, 28th Nottingham Trent A, 29th Birmingham C, 30th Newcastle B, 31st Swansea C, 32nd Leeds C, Birmingham B. We're now getting into the carts that were involved in the big couple of incidents, one of which led to the red flag. Leeds C, 32nd, 33rd Birmingham B, Brunel B, 34th, Kingston A, 35th, and Southampton A, of course, Zach Nixon registered as 36th after the incident that led to the red flag. He was smiling. He was obviously struggling on his ankle. Something with that. Ankles are, of course, somewhat exposed in kart racing if you do get karts. The new design of these newer Club 100 karts, the side pods are good to try and avoid karts riding up over each other. But if you get a kart launching up over
It might have just been a pure impact thing.
It could have been a pure impact thing, absolutely right, mate. Obviously, your ankles are exposed at the front from a head-on impact, but also if a kart had ridden up maybe over the front, that can also lead to potential risk of ankle injuries. So, but it was good to see he was fundamentally okay. I think that's the important thing to stress.
I've had a comment from Steve Hicks. Would a halo have saved him?
No.
No.
Not at all.
That's all I'm going to say on that one. Right. I think we're just about ready down on the grid. Hopefully we are. No, we're not quite ready on the grid then, so we'll carry on for now. Yeah, this final race is going to be interesting because Huddersfield, even with that position in race 5, have put themselves in a very good position. I'm just going to check where Oxford Brookes A start this next race.
It felt, Andrew, like a neutral race from the perspective, in some ways. It felt like a somewhat neutral perspective, maybe not for the round, but from the championship perspective, it felt somewhat possibly the least influential. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, I'm just seeing it is Richard Morris in the 9 for the next one. This could be good. The crucial thing is Oxford Brookes A. Oxford Brookes A could actually knock a few of the teams out. So it's a shame in a way, irrespective of what Huddersfield have done this morning. Oxford Brookes A, if they can pull through the field, might just be about to knock them out of the championship battle. But they do start in 25th place, so they've got work to do.
Absolutely.
And we have seen, I don't think we've been able to put our finger on it this year, but Oxford Brookes A have struggled sometimes, would you say? Anyway, we're going to have to head down to the grid. Apologies. We've got Jacob down on the grid with some drivers.
Thank you, Andrew. Give me a wave. No, Piers, give me a wave. But not Andrew. Never mind. Let's go talk to Piers. Race winner of that last one, number 4, hasn't materialised. So yeah, let's have a chat with current champions left. Ollie's going out. Ollie, come on into Shark.
Right.
Yeah, not too bad. What's this, 3rd or 4th?
4th.
What can you do from here?
Well, hopefully win. That's the plan.
Oh, I like the confidence. You need a win. I was just about to say, how's it going?
Yeah, not amazing. We've had a 13th, a 10th, and a 5th. So we need a win really. I mean, the championship's gone. We're going for the top 3 basically. But that's going to be a hard task because Brookes and Huddersfield are having good days.
They are. They both of them having a very good race. I don't think Brookes are out in this one. I think.
Carl Morby.
Carl's in this one. I could have sworn it was race 6. He's out. Well, this is race 6. Yes.
You're right.
Yes. In that case, you've got Ollie Milner of Huddersfield. You've got Carl Morby of Brookes A, and you've got Jack Ransom of Brookes B.
Okay.
This is a pretty tasty lineup.
Yeah, it's a difficult grid. I'm hoping I can get a good start and maybe get a little gap before they're free at the front, but we'll see. I'm
going to go try and find some of those names I've just dropped. But you have a good race.
Cheers, Jack.
Before I go after them, actually, I'm going to talk to Rich Morris of Cambridge. Hopefully the camera comes here. Rich, come on into shot. We're just saying there's a very tasty lineup. We got Ollie Wedden for our Arena Champions Loughborough. We got Carl Morby, Brookes A, Jack Ransom, Brookes B, Ollie Milner of Huddersfield. What can you do from pole position?
Well, last time here I won from like 11th, so hoping for good things from pole. I mean, it's my last ever sprint race in the BUKC. I think we're in a strong position in the round, so just going to go for it.
When you say last ever, just for anyone at home who might not know, how many sprint races is that?
Well, I think this is overall race number 64.
64 races.
Yeah, it's been a little while, but a lot going on this one with where we are in the round overall as well. So looking forward to it.
All right, you have a good race from pole position. Rich Morris there of Cambridge, a very, very experienced driver. And as he said, won here last year. Another name to add to that roster of tasty-looking drivers. Right, hopefully we can get the camera back far enough to find ourselves Jack Ransom. Come over and have a chat. How are we doing, James? We're all right? Jack, I've spoken to Ollie Wedden, who's on his fourth. Rich Morris is on pole. Who are you most worried about in this race?
Not sure, really. I mean, probably Richard Morris. I raced against him previously in TKM many years ago, so I know he can be quick.
I set you up to say Kyle then. I set you up for Kyle.
My teammate Kyle, he will come through and he'll well, hopefully he won't beat me, but
hopefully he doesn't watch this back.
my teammate Kyle, of course, and probably is it Loughborough Ollie's fourth?
Yeah, Ollie Wedden in fourth.
So I mean they're normally fast, aren't they? So probably be quite interesting to see what happens. But I mean we're reasonably far back, 13th. Haven't driven around here for a fair few years, so let's see what happens.
A couple of race wins already this year. Can you add to that today?
Fingers crossed. See what I can do. See what I do. I mean, B team's had a bit of a shocker again. Well, actually, no. We've had a great season so far, but this round today has been pretty awful. So we'll see what we can do.
So it's advantage A team in terms of the championship, is it?
Well, I'm not sure how it works out on points. Jamie reckons that we'd have to finish considerably below them for them to beat us, but at the moment, this is looking like it's probably going to be our drop round.
Sounds like Jamie's mind games to me, mate. I'd pay no attention whatsoever.
No attention. It's all, he's in it for himself, isn't he?
Exactly. Right, you have a good race. I'm sure I'll speak to you later. Right, I'm being told not to take the camera any further back. So, let's go find out who we've got in this kind of middle area here. We've got the Brunel cart here. Who have we got in the cart?
Tom Constance.
Tom Constance. I'm going to talk to Tom. I quite like Tom. Have a little sit on the side. Your lead's not looking very secure by there. It's not your. Do you want me to keep it? You want to steal it, but you're going out racing.
Don't tell
Skotec.
Don't tell them that we stole it.
But seriously, do you want me to look after that? Because no, okay. One for you. Tom, where are? 10th?
Yep.
What can I expect to see from you?
I don't know. I went from 35th to 4th last time we were here, but every year's different.
This is possibly the most talent-filled race of the day. Yes, I've not spoken to anyone else. I've just spoken to you, and that's what I mean by that. Do you rate yourself?
Do I rate myself? I'm nothing special.
If you had to give yourself an out of 10 for karting ability, what would it be?
11.
11? And what about looks?
Oh, 12. Easy.
I can see just through your visor there. I've seen him without the helmet on. He's a 12. Tom, is there going to be a strong showing from Brunel tonight at the party?
I hope so. Are we dressing up? Yeah, we're dressing up, apparently.
Ooh, fancy that.
Lucky you.
I know. I'm going to have a little bow tie on myself.
Brilliant.
I guess I'll see you there.
Yeah, you will.
Good luck with the race.
You can buy me a pint as well.
You can buy me one first, mate. All right, Tom Constance of Brunel. Sitting in front of him, who have we got? It's who? Northumbria. Come on over. What was his name again, sorry? George. How's Northumbria's day going?
Not great. Not yeah. We can hope for a better one today.
Not great, as in we've had some bad racing, or just not in a good mood today?
No, just not good racing. I think we haven't had the best results yet.
Can you put it right this race?
Yeah. I mean, last interview I asked for P5 and I came P4. So can I get a win this time?
If you say P2, then...
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I'll go P2.
And then you'll win.
Yeah, should we say P2?
Job done.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
Jump in the cart, mate. We're about to get going. Wow. We've got a number of drivers who think they can win this one. I'm going to quickly step out of all their ways. But no, I hazard a guess this is going to be an incredible race. It's going to take a lot to beat what we've already seen today. But there's the talent in this race to do it. Andrew and Howard, if you can hear me, give me a wave. Still no. Still just Piers who waves at me. I'm sure I'll get a wave. I'm sure I'll get a wave one day. Maybe this afternoon in Endurances. But here comes race number 6. Howard and Andrew have acknowledged the fact that I'll be handing back to them. And I'll see you after this race for a chat with the winner.
I think they want us to talk.
Sorry, they want us to commentate. What? Should we welcome listeners in on Mixler as well? Hello.
Can you tell that we're sleep deprived, ladies
Hello
and
to
gentlemen?
everyone. Oh, what's sorry, what's already on the practice laps? I'm seeing carts, 2 carts off, 4 carts off on practice laps. Anyway, sorry. You caught us then. For those on Mixler, we were dancing. Take some explaining. It made sense on the live stream. Anyway, welcome back to everybody on Mixler, and of course to everyone. This is the final sprint race of
the season.
The main season. This is the final 25-minute race of the year.
We need to clear something
there's a
up, don't
stationary
we?
cart there in the chicane.
Sorry, mate. We need to clear something up.
Yes, let's do that, and then I'll take you through the
I've caused some work for myself on the spreadsheet of doom, but also Cambridge cannot win this round because they did have now had a penalty in race 2 for an overtake under yellow. It was registered. It is now on that result. So, sorry, Cambridge.
Meanwhile, we have a grid graphic coming up, so let me take you through said grid. Richard Morris. Those of you following along will have remembered Andrew saying just before we went down to Jacob on the grid, has a history of doing well around Clay Pigeon. He starts on pole for Cambridge A. Dan White starts alongside for Brunel B. Road 2 is Simon Withers for Swansea C and Oliver Wedden for Loughborough A. Row 3 is Ashley Jarvis for Birmingham B and Sam Baxter for Bath B. Row 4 is Ryan Edwards for Swansea A and George Story for Northumbria A. Rounding out the top 10 is Carl Ryder for Oxford Brooks D and Thomas Constance for Brunel A. Row 6 on the grid, Matthew Lawton for Leeds A and Matt Gladen for Loughborough C. Row 7 is Jack Ransom for Oxford Brooks B and I just have Kieran here against University of West of England A. Go for it, Kieran. Tom Caddick starts 15th for Southampton B with Adam Fleming for Newcastle A in 16th. Row 9 of the grid is Leeds B with Tom Mannering at the wheel and Sam Richardson for Manchester Metropolitan A, and then rounding out the top 20 on the grid, Ashley Davison for Sheffield A and Ryan Williams for Coventry A. Row 11, Jeremy Todd for Swansea B and James Grant for Newcastle B. Row 12, Jack Kingsley Smith for King's College A and James Burt for Exeter B. Row 13 on the grid is Carl Morby for Oxford Brooks A and Simon Morton for Birmingham A. Row 14 is James Baker for Leeds Beckett A and Luke Bath for Huddersfield B. Rounding out the top 30 is Athanasios Tsevelakis. Apologies, I know I've mullered that one for Birmingham C and Luke Baker Smith for Warwick B. 31st on the grid is Warwick A with Carl Roberts at the wheel. David Haynes for Oxford Brooks C starts 32nd. 17th row of the grid is Dom Whiting for Imperial A and Patrick Archiuch for Brighton. And then rounding out the 36 car grid is Tom Obi for Aston A and Josh Hulbert for Liverpool A. That's your grid. I need to go and talk to the Birmingham squad and learn how to pronounce their drivers' names. You can send your corrections to you can actually at Double Dash MM. Let us know what's going down.
Right, I'm just going to see if we're going around for one more loop of the crown, because then we'll go through some championship. I think we're good for a race, aren't we? So here we go. This is an important race.
No.
We are going around again. Great. Okay, Huddersfield A lead the round, 176 points. The only team that can beat them is Oxford Brooks A, and they need at least second place to do so. So they've got work to do. That's the story in Premier. In Intermediate, I haven't got it fully clear yet, but currently the leading Inter team is Huddersfield B on 161. Interestingly, I'm looking at King's College A. They could beat them. Liverpool A could beat them. And I think that's it. Right, let's get ready for a race. Final mains sprint race of the season. It's go in race 6 here at Clay Pigeon. Good start for Cambridge and Richard Morris on the inside. Are they all going to get through? No, they're not. There's a lot of loading in there. It was like Hooton Park again. And are we going to get a restart? Not seeing it. Okay.
Simon Withers of Swansea C to the front though, Andrew. It's the return of our favourite phrase from Hooton. Swansea C leads, but it's a full start. It's a full start.
Yeah, it's needed to be, because there's about 7 carts off down at turn 1. Drivers, I know you can't hear me, but if anyone's got radios, can hear me and has got radios to drivers, I'm going to mention the L word again. Loading. That was shocking.
They may as well introduce parking charges into turn 2 there. There's so many of them down there. And do you know who I saw looking really frustrated there, Andrew? Oliver Wedden was really frustrated going through the horseshoe there because he had got up to 3rd. He'd had a great start.
Can I officially announce some changes in championship? I think I can. Nottingham A cannot win the championship. Loughborough A are still in it by the skin of their teeth, but are probably out once this all shakes itself out. In fact, I think they are. Oxford Brooks A are very much in it. Very much in it, even if they finish 2nd in this round. I'm currently looking for where Oxford Brooks B are in the round. Oh my goodness me, they're down in 30th. So they've got to have a good race here. Remind me, mate, where are Oxford Brooks B starting on the grid? I've reduced my spreadsheet of doom to just
Brooks
things I need to know as I go through the race.
13th, mate.
13th, okay. They could get a good result from this. Damage limitation time then for Oxford Brooks B.
Grid forming up again then, behind the pace cart. You can see Nicky Richardson there. No, sorry, it's Joe Richardson, isn't it? Nicky Richardson's doing parking of coursing these days. Joe Richardson doing a bit of kart testing there for them. It's okay, it's normal to see him doing his own thing around the karts.
And it's quite a thing.
It is quite a thing. The Richardson brothers, rather famous for their skills in equipment machinery. And therefore they get the job of testing them out if they're not to scratch. We're good for a restart though here then. Eyes to the lights. Hopefully this one goes a little more cleanly. It was an amazing start from Simon Withers in Swansea C, but Richard Morris leads them away for the 2nd time in Cambridge A. It initially at least looks like a better start. How's it going to be through turn 2? There's 35 with Northumbria A off. And I can't quite make out who else. I think that's Newcastle who are off, Andrew. I think that's the 45.
And more off in the chicane.
Bruno goes straight on the chicane. Oh, and there's 4 carts off stationary at the chicane. It's not much better, if I'm honest, but it is being called good.
66 is involved.
We've got a cart off down at the hairpin as well. So we're going to have to do a register.
Sheffield involved.
Yeah.
59 and 54 involved, so if any of these are your numbers, sorry, you've had an incident on lap 1.
Richard Morris leads them across the line then, and then it's Swansea C, who again had a good start. Birmingham B, Loughborough A, Swansea A, Brunel B, Brooks B, Coventry A, Uwe A, and Manchester Met rounding the top 10. Involved in incidents, Northumbria A, Oxford Brooks D, Newcastle A, Leeds B, Newcastle B, Sheffield A, and Exeter B. Thing that stand out from that, Andrew, Newcastle A, of course, big in the intermediate class. And Sheffield A, don't forget, in fact, did we mention this on comp? Sheffield A got disqualified from one of their races earlier for being underweight. So Sheffield A do not have a drop score in hand to play with. Meanwhile, though, Oliver Wedden has got to 2nd place here and is challenging Swansea C. Swansea C has Simon Withers at the wheel. He's had 2 really good starts as Simon.
He's through.
C. And Wedden is through, so Loughborough A up to the lead.
Look at Brooks B. Yeah. Jack Ransom is going for the move. He's going for 3rd place. This is a really good start to the race for Brooks B.
2nd place even.
No,
sorry, because Richard Morris is up the road.
Far ahead.
Oh, I beg your
he's up to 2nd now. That's a fantastic manoeuvre for Loughborough. On Loughborough. So Oxford Brooks B up to 2nd place. This is what they need. This might still, it's probably still going to be a drop round for them. but you never know. They might need it. They might need it to come into play, and Jack Ransom is just going to race his heart out for the next 20-odd minutes.
My apologies indeed to Richard, but Wedden's got back up the inside of the S's. Got the cut back out of turn 2, and Wedden's got back past Ransom, but Ransom is now side by side. He gestures behind him to say, let's work together to get up to the front here. There's a battle as well going on between Manchester Metropolitan and Swansea Sea behind. Manchester Met now up to 4th place behind this battle, but Jack Ransom now pulling away from Oliver Wedden for the rest of this lap. And it's now Sam Richardson. Where has Sam Richardson come from? He's now challenging Oliver Wedden for 3rd. He started in 18th. That's an impressive climb up the field, even if it was in amongst, some people. And we've got somebody off there. Where is that? I wasn't even certain where on track that was. It's going to be in the early part of the lap. Yellow's out there. I think it's very, very early on. Oh no, it's very late.
That's Swansea Sea.
It is Swansea Sea.
Oh,
it's Simon Withers after 2 really good starts. There's a penalty for Manchester Metropolitan A for a kart change. Now, I hadn't seen that penalty come up ever before today, and now I've seen it come up twice. That might be a thread to investigate after the race. Richard Morris then, somewhat of a clay pigeon specialist, leads for Cambridge A. He is 2 seconds up the road from Jack Ransom of Oxford Brooks B. Then it's Oliver Wedden in the Loughborough A kart. Manchester Metropolitan A has Sam Richardson at the wheel, but he now has a penalty. Birmingham B are up to 5th. That's with Ashley Jarvis. I'm going to take this opportunity for a bit of housekeeping. I owe Ashley Jarvis an apology. He won a rookies race at Hooton Park, and I called it wrong. I said it was Jake O'Sullivan of Birmingham. Sorry, Ashley. Ashley is an experienced driver, in fact, for Birmingham. He's been competing for a number of years for them now, and so far he's having a good run of it in 5th place in a battle with pretty much everybody, actually. The top 10 is pretty much as you can see it on screen there. There are some karts in amongst it who are off the lead lap, but on the whole we're talking about gaps of a few tenths amongst the top 10. This is the battle, for example, between Ashley Jarvis and Birmingham B, and actually they've got past Loughborough A now. So Manchester Met and Birmingham B have both got past. We've got a kart stationary on the exit of the S's. It's an intermediate class kart. We've also got a kart off at the hairpin, as the 47 you can see getting bump started there. And that is, that makes it.
Brunel A are in the pits for their black flag.
Yeah, University of West of England was 47, of course. But look at this, battle for the lead. Jack Ransom in the number 11 has got right onto the tail of Richard Morris here in the Cambridge car. It's 9 versus 11, Cambridge versus Brooks B. Richard Morris, we know he's quick around here. Yellow flags, and there's another kart off down at turn 2. So yellow flags at the moment. Richard Morris in the Cambridge A kart with Jack Ransom in the number 11 Brooks B kart on screen. Further down the road in 3rd place with a penalty to be applied post-race is Sam Richardson of Manchester Metropolitan A. Then it's Ashley Jarvis of Birmingham B. And is there going to be an opportunity into the horseshoe? Not this time. It's like Ransom was looking to sell the dummy there, but no opportunity knocking that time. Ryan Williams is up behind Ashley Jarvis as well in 5th place, so he's running well. Jack Ransom looking for an opportunity into turn 2, but it wasn't on there. Both Morris and Ransom are using that tight line coming out of turn 2 there, so unlike the battle we saw earlier today between Joseph Jackson and Carl Morby, you haven't got that difference of approach to those corners. Although, having said that, he tries up the inside of the hairpin, but he's done it. He's done it. Excuse me. He got up the inside of the hairpin. Richard Morris tried to come back at him, but then Ransom had the inside line for the next corner, and it's stayed that way. So Ransom gets past Morris for the lead of the race. Change for the lead then here in race 6 of round 7 of the BUKC for 2018. It's the last sprint race of the year, save for the much shorter sprint races we will see on Sunday for the drivers and graduates. And we've had a change for the lead, as we've still got 15.5 minutes to go. The race distance shortened, remember, because of the full start, as is standard procedure under those situations. There's Coventry 14 and 5th, and then there's Brooks A in 7th. So it goes Coventry A 5th. Actually, Brooks A, I think, may have just got past Swansea. Indeed, they have. So Brooks A's Kyle Morby. Is it Kyle?
Yes.
It is.
Not seen
Sorry.
it so far today.
Sorry, it was Gareth Haynes and Joseph Jacks that had the amazing battle earlier on today. Of course it was. He's got past Ryan Edwards anyway in the Swansea kart. Richard Morris trying to get back on terms with Jack Ransom. And Sam Richardson, actually, in the Manchester Met kart, has gone on to the back here of Richard Morris, and so too is Ashley Jarvis in the Birmingham B kart, having a fantastic drive so far. Top 10 beginning to close up generally, in fact. A lot of gaps going down. Here's the battle then for second on the road. Sam Richardson in Manchester Metropolitan A's car, all over the back of Richard Morris. Now Richard Morris takes the inside line going into turn 2. But does that give a cut back to Richardson? No, it doesn't. Into the S, it's going to be As You Were. Coming onto the back straight now, heading towards the hairpin. Does Morris go defensive? He looks over the shoulder, but doesn't feel the need to go defensive. Jarvis in the number 20 Birmingham B car, ready to pick up the spoils should this come to blows. Oh, and he has a look on the inside. Does Richardson through the horseshoe, and job done. Textbook overtake there through the horseshoe from Sam Richardson in the Manchester Metropolitan A kart, as there's a contact warning for Warwick B. And there you can see our leader, the number 11, ahead of them up the road. So now, unless Richard Morris has an answer to Sam Richardson, Richardson will now start to try and head up the road towards Brooks B. But remember, I stressed this point, the 79 kart has a penalty to be applied. You can see now Ryan Williams in the Coventry A kart in 5th being pressured by Kyle Morby in the number 2 Oxford Brooks A kart. And he's got the Brooks C kart right behind him, with David Haynes at the wheel to act as an Oxford Brooks rear gunner there. So a comfortable, or as comfortable as you can get, situation for Oxford Brooks, except for perhaps being in the lead of the race and in that position. But here we are, Morby pressuring the back of Williams in the Coventry car. He's going to try the inside of turn 2, is he? No, it's not on there, as there's a contact warning for Brooks D, which I believe is Carl Ryder.
Dingly dong. Would you like some championship permutations?
Mate, I would love some.
Huddersfield A currently winning the round with 176 points for the round. Oxford Brooks A currently 6th place, comfortably in 2nd place. So I'm afraid to say it, even though Huddersfield A win the round, Brooks A getting a 2nd place knocks them out. There's nothing they can do about it. Oxford Brooks B currently 10th. And that would count because I think they've had a 10th and a 15th already this season. Sorry, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. No, sorry, I'll correct myself. At the moment, Oxford Brooks B's round with a 10th place overall in the round would be a drop score.
Sorry, Andrew, it's all closing up, and indeed up the inside of Ashley Jarvis goes Ryan Williams. Coventry overtaking Birmingham B there. I think Ashley was trying to set up an opportunity maybe for overtaking Cambridge A there. But yeah, still really good battling going in amongst the top 10.
Carrying on, so currently for the round, I've got, stress the provisional, really guys, stress the provisional. As who's that trying to get? That's the 20.
This is Coventry and Birmingham.
That's a
still
move.
Battling. As Ashley Jarvis has now got back past Ryan Williams in the battle over 4th.
Let's get this done really quick. Huddersfield A leading round 7. Oxford Brooks A in 2nd. Birmingham A currently scored in 3rd. Warwick A 4th. Cambridge A 5th. Huddersfield B 6th. Southampton A 7th. Loughborough A 8th. Nottingham A 9th. And Oxford Brooks B 10th. That's your top 10ers through. On a back marker goes Richard Morris.
Josh Hulbert has had an off in the Liverpool A kart and has just got bump started in the S's. So Liverpool drop down the order, I'm sorry to say, for fans of that squad. Drew Mandan has returned. What a beautiful series of shots we have of Clay Pigeon here, having raced earlier. Did we cover where Dan finished? I'm not sure we gave special mention to that. Need to look that up later. But anyway, we're looking at the superb battle going in amongst the top 10. Pretty much all of the cars that you can see in this train, in fact, yes, all of the cars you can see in this train are for position. This is the top 10 from third place down. And it is Cambridge A, Birmingham B, Oxford Brooks C, Coventry A, Brooks A, Swansea A, and Birmingham A trying to get on terms with this as well. So a really good battle this in amongst the top 10. In fact, I'll scrap that. It's not Birmingham A looking to get on terms. They are on terms. It's now a 7-kart train from third backwards, and all of the top 10 involved. Now, Brooks C and David Haynes looking at the back of Richard Morris.
Birmingham A falling a position there to 9th. Where are Warwick A at the moment, mate? 15th. They need to get up to at least 10th to start improving their score for this round.
I believe there was a change of position there, Andrew. I think Birmingham B's dropped back in this pack. It's Brooks A. Brooks A have got past Brooks C. That's what I was seeing. Kyle Morby has scythed his way through this body of traffic. It's when you can sense this position change.
This is important.
Yeah, it is.
Because if Oxford Brooks A finish second in this race, I reckon they win the round on count back.
So here we go. He's scythed his way. It's when you can look at a load of karts and notice something's changed. I just couldn't put my finger on it. There's a penalty for Carl Ryder at Brooks D. That's for bump and pass. They're currently running in 29th. There's also a penalty for Liverpool A for bump and pass as well. So it goes from bad to worse for them. But now Carl Morby challenging Richard Morris for third place. Look at this, side by side as they cross the line. Morris will have the inside line for turn 2. But if he goes deep, Carl Morby tries around the outside of turn 2. That's interesting. That's not quite going to happen, but my goodness, was it a good attempt. And Simon Morton in Birmingham A coming into this as well. He's working his way through, and as the penalty for Liverpool gets confirmed, Morris goes defensive around the hairpin. But again, Carl Morby's not as afraid of trying around the inside, but it's not happening. It's Cambridge A ahead of Brooks A, ahead of Birmingham A, but how much longer is that going to stay the case? Round this corner, it's difficult to have an overtake. There's the 32 of Swansea. Swansea, I think, having a good day so far today, Andrew. I've said them a lot when talking about the top 10 order.
They're looking at a top 15 overall position in the round.
David Haynes is in the number 3 there as well, as Richard Morris again is defending from Carl Morby. Simon Morton is looking to capitalise on this.
And up the inside goes Oxford Brooks A and through. That's a huge move, not just in this race, not just in this round, but in this championship.
And Simon, sorry Andrew, round the outside of Horseshoe tries Simon Morton. It almost worked. Sorry Andrew, yes.
But because this is, I cannot reiterate how big this is. We know Oxford Brooks B are not improving on their point score in this round, but Oxford Brooks A are, and every single point is crucial. Kyle Morby, for me, one of the drivers of the year. He's run wide. He's run wide, and Richard Morris is underneath, and it's 3 wide. That's an outrageous. What was that?
David Haynes. David Haynes took 2 of them into the S's.
And
what
not just 2 of them. It was Kyle Morby and Richard Morris. That was ridiculous.
Now, I know it's really difficult in a pack of cars like this, but David Haynes could really, really help the Brooks A team.
Absolutely.
Here. He really could. So in the chain at the moment, you have, this is the battle for third place. You have David Haynes in the Brooks C kart, then Richard Morris in the Cambridge A kart, then is Carl Morby in the Brooks A kart, and then it's Simon Morton in the number 10 Birmingham kart. Swansea have Ryan Edwards at the wheel then in the 32, as the 12 is off.
That's Sheffield.
A are off. That's very unusual.
It's down at turn 2.
For them. So it's 32 of Swansea A, then it's Ryan Williams in the Coventry A kart. And then it's Ashley Jarvis in the number 20 Birmingham B, and then Dom Whiting for Imperial
A. We need to find out how big this kart penalty is for Manchester Met.
I don't. Oh, well, we've had it applied in some other race, so we can look that up.
Loughborough, wasn't it?
I believe it was. So we need to look how serious that is.
It's 5 positions.
5 positions. Oh, okay. unusual for a position penalty to...
Morris defending again. In fact,
yeah.
is that Morris through? That is Morris through.
No, it's not, because...
that's goodness me!
That's
Kyle
Morby
Morby.
through. That's Kyle Morby through. So Morris was ahead there, and now he's under pressure. Look at this from Swansea. Swansea up the inside, and then everybody's trying to get through. This is Edwards in the Swansea A car. Ryan Edwards put a move there. Got past, and he's got past Simon Morton in the Birmingham car at some point as well. All sorts of things going on in this battle of karts. Fantastic racing. Now, does David Haynes let through the Brooks A car? Brooks C currently ahead of Brooks A. They could really help here, because let's not forget Manchester Metropolitan A. Remember what Andrew said, you could win it on countback if Brooks A finished second. Manchester Metropolitan have a position penalty of 5 places. So, by my very basic calculation, if David Haynes in the Brooks C car lets through Kyle Morby, I think he gives, at this precise moment in time, the round win to Brooks. And Andrew's just run off, presumably to confirm something in relation to that. So I think, at the moment, Haynes needs to let Morby through to give Oxford Brooks the round win on countback.
Yes, he does.
Sorry, mate, you just sprinted a mile to confirm it, I realise, but that's absolutely the case as far as we can tell, isn't it? As Edwards, Ryan Edwards gets past Birmingham A, so Swansea past Birmingham. This is the 32 and the 10. And then you can see Richard Morris and Ryan Williams in the Coventry A kart as well, having a fantastic battle behind them.
This is nervy times, because there's a lot of teams here with big positions, but scrapping too hard and getting yourself taken out in this race is going to cost huge points. I'm really surprised C aren't do the swap. No, they have. They have done the swap now. Here we go. This is what I've been expecting all season. Finally, some Brooks karts working together properly.
Well, had they did the swap, actually, because I almost thought it looked like Haynes is trying to come back at him out of 2. But either way...
Push him along.
Yeah, exactly.
Push him along.
It has. Yeah, absolutely. So, Ransom at the head of this field, quite comfortably by 5 seconds for Oxford Brooks B. Then in second place is Manchester Metropolitan A with Sam Richardson at the wheel, but he has this 5-position kart change penalty. Is that what you were confirming, by the way, mate?
Yeah, various things. Also just telling Birmingham, don't mess this up again.
Yes, this is true. They've had a fair few penalties from high positions this year. So, obviously clarifying what the penalty was, what actually is it for? What's been done?
I'm not quite sure on that one,
why
they've been given it. We'll check that out later on.
Dom
As
White,
who's oh, that's a huge off down at the hairpin.
And it's another Premier kart.
Is it Sheffield again? Or is it Coventry?
I don't think that's the Sheffield driver.
It's not Coventry, I've just seen them pass through shots. You focus on that, mate.
Is it Warwick?
Well, Oxford Brooks B winning this, and it looks like we're going to get what we semi-predicted on the BUKC radio podcast. The championship is going to go to round 8, but it's going to be Oxford Brooks versus Oxford Brooks. Could this be an actual bit of history here? It could finally be at the end of this round that we finally confirm the duck has been broken, that Oxford Brooks are going to win the championship. The question is, we don't know which one it's going to be. Is it going to be the A team? Is it going to be the B team?
It's Leeds A off at the hairpin, I believe.
I'm just going to put some numbers in just to check.
Yeah, absolutely. You do that, mate. So, Jack Ransom, what a controlled race he's done. As I tell you what, I'm watching. David Haynes almost got back past Kyle Morby there. I do feel they are working together, but as you say, Andrew, he's definitely pushing him along. Sam Richardson has had a good race for 79 Manchester Metropolitan A squad, but they have a penalty, and it will be 5 positions, not a time penalty. It is a positions penalty. So that means that your second on the road is Brooks A, and we believe that gives them the round victory against Huddersfield A on countback. That
Hold
means
on a minute.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh,
it's not an Oxford Brooks win yet.
Okay.
Huddersfield is still in there.
Okay.
They'll need to win the last round, and both the Brooks teams will have to have a disaster Oh, now it's getting interesting. Now it's getting interesting, Howard. It's down to 3, and Huddersfield are in there.
Ironically, Huddersfield B just got a penalty for bumping past. We just saw the number 59 stationary. That's Leeds B at the side of the road, as there's a contact warning for Aston A. We are into the last minute on the clock, so it'll be, I would imagine, the next time the leader crosses the line, it will be the start of the last lap. The leader has just crossed the line. We haven't spoken about it much, but it was Jack Ransom. It is Jack Ransom in the number 11 Brooks B car. It's going to be a Brooks 1-2-3 when this is all worked out, because Manchester Metropolitan A's penalty. Shout out to Ryan Edwards in the Swansea A car. He's had a great race. As Sheffield A are off again.
What's going on there?
This is our leader. No, it's not. It's Brooks A. Oh, Brooks C are back ahead.
No, come on, guys.
Brooks C are back ahead of A.
Seriously, swap that back round now.
Brooks C are back ahead of A. We need to look to our leader, because Jack Ransom is coming around the final corner now. He's going to take the final sprint victory on offer of 2018. It's Ransom for Brooks B.
But this could be
the
crucial.
win.
Oh, it's the 20's off.
Ashley Jarvis round. Oh, goodness me.
And look, they're going to swap it. That is that's well played.
Yes.
Oxford Brooks A, and that is good teamwork. Oxford Brooks C let Oxford.
A little bit untoward to me. Anyway, let's not focus on that now. Brooks B win it. Manchester Metropolitan A second. Third was Brooks A. Fourth was Brooks C. Swansea A were fifth. Sixth was Birmingham A. Cambridge A was 7th, 8th was King's College A, 9th was Warwick A, Coventry A were 10th, Warwick B were 11th, 12th was Brunel B, Loughborough A were 13th, 14th was Aston A, 15th was Bath B, Loughborough C was 16th, 17th was Birmingham B, gutting for Ashley Jarvis. Didn't quite see what happened there on the last lap, but with the spin, that's such a shame for him. Northumbria A 18th, Brunel A 19th, Brighton were 20th, 21st were Imperial A, 22nd were Newcastle A, Exeter B were 23rd, 24th was Swansea B, Birmingham C were 25th, Oxford Brooks D was 26th, Southampton B was 27th, University of West England A were 28th, 29th was Huddersfield B, Liverpool A were 30th, 31st was Newcastle B, Leeds Beckett A were 32nd, 33rd was Swansea C, 34th was Leeds A, 35th was Sheffield A, and Leeds B were 36th. There was a lot going on that last lap, Andrew. I'm not entirely sure, in some cases, what.
Yeah, we'll catch up with it in a bit. Let's just go through provisional results. After what we had happen to us at Hooton in the sprints, I'm going to stress that word, provisional.
Oh, yes.
I have down on the sheet that Oxford Brooks A win the round once Manchester Metropolitan take the penalty, which we know is coming towards them. So they win the round. They take 60 points of the championship. The points gap is 1 point going into the final round. Oxford Brooks B over Oxford Brooks A. Huddersfield A takes second in the round on countback, and the deciding factor. The Haynes battle in race 3.
Fantastic stuff.
Not just a round point, not just a race point, a championship point was decided by that. Birmingham A I have as taking 3rd, Warwick A is taking 4th, Cambridge is taking 5th, Huddersfield B, Cambridge A taking 5th and intermediate, Huddersfield B 6th. I'm going to correct myself. No, Cambridge have not got it. Sorry. I'm going to stop myself there because Richard Morris started to fall down the order. Other key protagonists, I've got Loughborough and Nottingham. Great attempts, but they were in the top 10, but the lower edges of the top 10. Loughborough A's defence of the championship is over. Oxford Brooks B have currently got in 10th place, so it's all to play for in the final round. What a set of scenarios. 2 Brooks teams and Huddersfield going for the championship in the final round. We're going to head down to the grid and Jacob, what can you say about that?
Howard, Andrew, sorry, I'm not going to say anything unless you give me a wave. Give me a wave, Howard. Yes, there's the wave. Thank you very much. What can I say about that? Well, I said at the start it was going to be tasty. It was tasty. Lots of very good drivers racing in that. But it turned out to be a real show of force from the Brooks boys. Jack's just got himself weighed. I've made him jump in to the front of the queue so he can come back straight away for his interview. But he's now making his way off track. Honestly, drivers these days. Kyle and I can't remember which Haynes brother it is at the back. Came in 3rd and 4th on track, but I believe the Manchester Met driver, whose name also eludes me, basically just in front of them, had a bit of a penalty. But yes, great racing, as always here in the BUKC. We got the drone back. The drone is hovering just up there. I'm sure you're enjoying the lovely shots that Drone Man Dan is supplying. David Haynes is the one who's in that race, I'm being told, from off track. I always get them mixed up. I'm terrible. No, don't film the informant, we're being told. It's a confidential informant, like the police have for drug deals. Jack, he's waiting for me off track, as if I'm going to walk over to him. Self-entitled students. Jack, congratulations, another race win.
Yeah, it's going all right. It's going all right. I'm feeling good.
I spoke to you earlier. You said Brooks had a pretty bad day. Does this go a long way to make up for that?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say it definitely makes up for it a little bit. I mean, especially for me, because I was the one who got to do the winning bit. But by the sounds of it, we had a pretty Brooks all round. I think we got Brooks A second and Brooks C or D third.
So yeah, so they came third and fourth on track, where you think Manchester Met, who were behind you, had a 5-second penalty. So
Brooks 1, 2, 3. Take that, you will. Brooks 1, 2 or Brooks 3, 4.
How many gold medals is this now then?
Not sure. I think this is three sprints in a row, and then won the endurance along with Matty Taylor last 2 weeks ago at Hooton. So it seems to be going well. I'm enjoying myself a lot. I mean, I race CKM, so I put some of that down to that. It's pretty similar, but yeah, just enjoying it. It's good series, really.
Fantastic. What's been your favourite part about your first season in the BUKC?
I'd say, actually, one of it's just going around and driving on different circuits. So I was pretty restricted beforehand, and it's really great a championship to go around and to experience the tracks. It's really competitive, actually. At the front, it was a lot more competitive than if I was expecting. I think the top bunch of drivers are as good as you get anywhere. Obviously we have got British champions racing, and so yeah, it's really competitive. Also, just quite a nice spirit, really.
I was going to say, what about off the track? What's it like off the track?
Yeah, off track's awesome. Yeah, really good. It's a good team spirit. I mean, I'm probably I'd say a lot of the teams have been quite welcoming. This is my first season, and drivers who I've never spoken to before come over and said hello. So you feel pretty welcome, and it's a pretty nice environment, really. It's very enjoyable. I've enjoyed myself.
Fantastic. I'll check back in with you once you've experienced your first BUKC party as well. I'm sure you're looking forward to that tonight. Plenty of champagne to celebrate your numerous race wins.
Thank you very much. I'm sure I'll see you on the dance floor.
That you will, Jack. Thanks for talking to me. Jack Ransom, 4-time race winner this year. And I believe we've finished wearing the drivers, but we are going into endurance racing. We're going to have a little lunch break in between now and then. And I probably would imagine we're shutting down the stream. I have no idea if we're not. I'll keep talking until someone mentions in my ear whether or not I need to keep talking. I've heard wrap it up in my ear. Wrap it up because no one wants to hear you talk over lunch. Yes, I've got half a pizza to get back to and some cheesy chips as well. And a Diet Coke to wash it down with. Whatever you're having out at home, do enjoy it. We'll be back this afternoon for 3 hour-long endurance races, the last 3 races of this BUKC 2018 season. Who's going to win it? Is it someone from Brooks? Have Huddersfield made up enough points? Or can Loughborough steal it right at the end? We'll be back this afternoon. Don't go anywhere.